I hear sirens.
Right
Hey
on time.
everybody, we here. It's time to start the Vibe Rant. I had a cool, like, clever way to introduce it. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, welcome Vibe Tribe to another episode of Vibe Rant, and I forgot, but then I remembered. So what's up, Beth? Good to see you.
Yeah, amazing to see you, Chance. I love your hat. Oh my gosh. Do
Yeah,
you
I
have like a
mean,
whole collection? I think I've seen you with a bunch of different ones.
I just decided to put the hat game on like point lately. I was wearing the same two all the time, but I found even a more wild cat hat, so I could be the cat in the hat. Besides
Nice.
this one, but I'm saving that for the stream that follows this. I guess I'm gonna do back-to-back streams. I will get to that, but hey,
Nice.
welcome
Nice.
everybody in the stream. Rainbows and butterflies, Israel Adams, dragonflies, Platus.
Patrick is here.
Cool.
Welcome. Mm.
Kat, CP, I know you.
Mm.
And Evan, good to see you all.
Hey,
On the
Evan.
on the Rockfin side, we got Nayakis, cool beans. So
Michelle. Yay.
there's a lot of people here. This is fun. And more will
Excellent.
pile in.
Excellent. Managed to get the word out.
Yes, thanks for that.
And you had the good buzzwords in there. Law, liberty, Jesus, all that good stuff.
and I got my Phrygian cap. My
Yeah.
Phrygian Capricorn.
I'm reading your archetype, by the way, that the animal prints are always a sign of a romantic.
that does probably fit me. I won't lie.
There you go. That's awesome.
I'm a lover. I love love. It's true.
How nice.
Yeah, so I was catching up on some of your work today, and it was fun. Is there anything that you're excited about or want to tell us about, since we're warming up this excellent hangout? Welcome, Gabriel, Slick Dissident. I bet we'll have you call in later.
Right, well, there's a call-in show. Awesome. I forgot to tell people that, but yeah, it's never a dull moment over here, I tell you. The excitement for the day was I had a friend bring me over. As you can see, I got a little bit of the plague. And friend, I can't really go shopping. Yeah, I know. I can't really go shopping when I have the plague, and because they'll run me out of town. I actually got brave after, and so she brought me a bunch of veggies, and we made a green juice. And instantly, my energy just like shot up with this green juice. It was so good. Not to mention the beautiful company. So thanks for that. And then I went into the store anyway. I just figured, like, screw it. If somebody hears me sneeze or blow my nose or something, we'll just deal with it. And I actually did. I went into the product section, and for some reason, they love me there. I don't know what that is. I buy a lot of cilantro, whatever. And they're so kind to me, and they never say, "Where's your face muzzle?" And we got talking. It was very beautiful. And there was some God bless yous. And then a woman came around the corner. She was just about to come through. She saw me and she lurched back, her and her cart. She just lurched back. And then I caught her eye and gave her a stare, which I normally don't do. I try to stay really, really compassionate in that. But I gave her a stare. And next thing you know, I see her on the phone, maybe turning me into the convid cops.
Oh, right. They have actual like a cooties hotline where you're at.
Exactly. And unfortunately, it won't get me in trouble. I hightailed it out of there. I just checked out and left. It's the store that they'll get in trouble. But hopefully they have no proof at that stage when I'm not there anymore. And
that's just wild. Like, I forget. I heard you mention this today, how like you have friends in the US who this is basically all over for them. And yeah, I'm one of those friends. We do not play stupid games and win stupid prizes here. You have like maybe some young woke folk that wear the muzzle or the diaper, whatever you want to call it. And that's fine, to each their own. But there's no rules about it, no mandates, no enforcement. We just do what we feel is right. And nobody seems that scared of cooties. Although my mom, even though she knows better, today she was like avoiding people. And I asked her why. She almost didn't give me a hug, and I was like, what's up? And she said because she was exposed to somebody who had the super coof. And I gave her a gentle chastisement, just like a little, like, you think that your germs are going to harm me? I don't think so. Your germs made me. It's fine.
Yeah, there you go. I keep using your scariant, by the way, and people love that. They think that's great.
I gotta give credit. A lot of my jokes I steal.
There you go.
At least related to like topical political cooties shit.
Right.
Cooties is my thing. I keep that one, but I mean, I technically heard that on the playground when I was a little kid. But I steal a lot of my jokes from James Evan Pilato of Media Monarchy. That guy is hilarious, really fun. If you are at all interested in in kind of hearing about current events, but you want to make it at least laugh worthy, that's the way to go. Media Monarchy. He does a 5 days a week stream. That guy's a badass.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Yeah. God, Ermacron.
There you go. Moronic. They're just laughing at us.
Yeah, so I shared it in the chats that we've got a call-in line for the whatchamacallit, Vibe Rant. That's this show. And there were already actually some shares in the call-in line before we started, because I labeled this show Phrygian Cap, or I put that in there, because this is a symbol of the secret societies, actually. Yeah, I'll probably pull like some text to quote about it just for fun. But this is interesting because it's on. Let me start my screen share.
So Satan Claus is not far off then.
No, it's really not. It's really not. So this is the seal of the United States Senate. It's got the fasces down there below, the symbol of fascism, and then the Papa Smurf cap up top. You really, yeah, I mean, you're right. This is the Senate logo. Then Satan can't be far away.
Exactly. Yeah, I never put those together, the fasci and the fascist. Wow.
Yep, that's from ancient Rome and all the way up to now. They've been doing the same thing with their symbolism. It's because evil is not creative. So
right. Exactly. They can't do anything new, which we can do every day, all day long.
You know, and the reason I say that's Papa Smurf there is because we actually have forensic evidence in the that it's literally Papa Smurf. In the call-in line, Alan, our illustrious scribe, Alan Marcus, he has actually proven this by doing some Photoshop reconnaissance. And let me pull this back up. Yeah, as you can see, he got into this document and checked out the layers of the United States seal of the Senate, and there's Papa Smurf right there.
Wow, that's good graphic sleuthing right there.
That's a pretty good joke, Alan. Thank you for this. I love that. Yeah, but you know what? There's actually, the Smurfs are interesting because if you study the symbolism in the Smurfs, and it connects back to all kinds of like Templar stuff. There's a old episode of RX Only Picture Show with the guy who created the Dismurphy code, he calls it, where he looks at the Smurfs and sleuths all the way back to like, Templar mysteries, John the Baptist heresies, pretty cool stuff. Secret Smurf Society, says Evan.
There you go. Yeah, I grew up on those Smurfs. I had no idea what I was being indoctrinated with.
It's weird. I mean, there's only one female, and they created her or something. She was created by Gargamel, the evil wizard. The really weird stuff. Very like bad Gnostic, like ugly Gnostic.
Ugly Gnostic, exactly. Speaking of, I shouldn't say ugly Gnostic. Poor thing. I have a cat that immediately needs to go out as soon as I get myself set up. Can you give me 1 second, and I'll just go and relieve him of his excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to find the Dismurphy code and share it in the chat, because this is actually quite an amazing presentation. You didn't know what the Smurfs were really about until you see this. I actually tried to get a hold of the guy who made this, but it's from years ago. Dismurphy code, now linked in the chat. It's this YouTube link you see here. Boom. So, hey, I hope some of you will interact tonight and shoot us some questions or comments on the call-in line. Gabriel says, Slick Distance says he's on the road and can't join in on the fun. What's up, dude? You always call in. How dare you? No, I hope you're having a good, safe travels there, buddy. I'm glad that you're getting out and doing stuff in the world. And, there's actually a voice message from Alan that relates to the forensic sleuthing he did, and I want to play it, but I've noticed that it's hard to hear Telegram voicemails on the live stream. But I have a solution for that where I just like run it through my audio software and up the levels on it. But it takes me just a second to do that. So I'm going to amplify this thing, and then we'll play his 1 minute call in, because this is what's fun about the Telegram channel that I linked, the Vibe Rant call in line, is we can actually share. You can actually call in like an old school radio show and drop voicemails for us. So let me make sure this is loud enough.
I don't even know if I'm in that chat.
Oh yeah, it's where the party at. Okay, so I gotta reshare my screen so the audio's on. I'm playing producer, and host at the same time, but I'm feeling very quick about it. So
there it is. You posted on my channel. Perfect.
Yeah, so here's the quick minute from Alan. Let's play it here. Oops. You saw my DMs.
Hey Chance, hey Beth. Hope you're doing well. It's awfully busy around these parts for me, so I might not be here live, but I have to say, I may have discovered a hidden Smurf in the United States Senate seal art thing. Look closely, and you might see a hidden Smurf under the Phrygian cap. Phrygian? Who friggin' knows, man? Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. Kwanzaa, Festivus for the rest of us. And solstice too. See you all in the new year. Or even sooner.
Thanks for that, Alan.
Vibe Rant. What happens on the Weaving Spiders Welcome channel after Vibe Rant? There's an art flow. Maybe we'll see you there. Thanks again, everyone.
I'm glad Alan mentioned that, because he's right. After Vibe Rant, we have a new tradition where we get together for what we call the flow state, and we hang out. We get a lot of people on a Zoom call, and we play. We talk to each other. We play around with art. We have our art shown on our cameras. So some of us are drawing, some are sculpting, some are crafting jewelry, whatever the fun thing we like to do is. And then we take turns reading from interesting books or information, and then we discuss the information. So we're stimulating the left and the right brain at the same time with the activity and the I'm Papa Smurf, Glenn J. I just saw this. Obviously I'm Papa Smurf. My hat's red, right?
Hey, Glenn J, nice to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you, Glenn. Yeah, so Vibe, but the thing is, usually we do that on Weaving Spiders Welcome, this flow state after Vibe Rants, and it's really fun. Love to see people come join in. The Zoom call is open, so lots of people could join, or you can just hang out in the live chat, watch what we're making, listen to our discussion, because it's always very interesting discussion, like as good as any podcast. But then we're also hopefully sharing the inspiration for our artistic creations. Would love to see people there, but we're doing it on my channel because the normal host, Jim, he's busy tonight with family stuff, which is understandable due to the time of year. So we're gonna do it here. So basically right after this is over, I'll kick that off after I, maybe like go to the bathroom. It's going to be a busy night for me. I should have more caffeine.
Fantastic. Are you a night owl, Chance? I never know, because sometimes I see you up and then sometimes not. Are you like not committed
to be a morning person and a night owl?
Yes, it is actually. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I am.
Not as much for me personally. I have to do one or the other, or else it's not sustainable.
Yeah. See, you know what my hack is? I take nude naps in the sunshine in the middle of the afternoon.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah.
So I try. It's like 20 or 30 minutes of sleep in the middle of the afternoon under the sun will do for me what missing 2 hours of sleep would have done if I had tacked that on to the nighttime.
That's so great.
Life hacks.
Yeah. I'm only mildly jealous. You can still lie nude in the sun there?
I could do anything I want. I own the place. So,
I know, but it's warm enough.
If I hear the neighbors come in their backyard, I maybe kind of try to like conceal myself, but whatever. It is what it is. It's just a human body.
But it's warm enough, or you just have that like sort of polar skin or something?
Well, that's the thing is if it's cold, you actually get the cryotherapy action too, right?
Ah,
So it just, I mean, I need the sunshine to at least be there. And the chemtrails are gone in my region. I think the tower busting gifting that I've been doing is making a difference because I haven't seen chemtrails hazing up the sky above my house for weeks and weeks since I gridded the area with. I don't know. Have you heard of my episodes with Mitch, the orgone donor?
yes, I've seen them, but have not actually watched them. And yeah, I mean, it sounds like an amazing thing. Obviously, you wouldn't be promoting it if it's not working.
Well, yeah, I had seen the evidence that it was working for him in his area big time, and so have audience members that live in Arizona. But trying it out in my spot definitely seems like it's one of those things where really, what's proof anyway, other than geometrical mathematical theorems? How do you really prove stuff in this universe, other than if
I
you see
know.
it yourself?
I
So
know.
it seems like it's working. Definitely less. I see chemtrails like miles away outside of town, beyond where I live, and I
Mhm.
live by an airport. So you like, it's just a couple miles away from me. So you'd think the whole chemtrail thing would be pretty unstoppable in this spot, but we'll see.
So,
I'll definitely let people know if they get back, if they start smogging up my spot.
right. So you think there's still spring, but because of the Oregon, it's just not clouding over.
Yes, here's my understanding of it is that the sky is big, right? Like really big.
Way big.
Super big. So you can spray a lot of shit up there, but it's still gonna just dissipate in a parts per billion ratio where whatever you sprayed will kind of just not be noticeable after a little bit. You know, what's the word? It like becomes a solution in the rest of the air. So
Mm,
what the towers are doing, from my understanding, is that they create a frequency lattice, like a network or a grid of actual standing deadly orgone frequency or radiation. And what is sprayed hangs on that grid like it's been, yeah, like it attracts to this frequency, right? And so that makes it just sit there and haze, and like that's why you notice that it expands out and starts to spread out, and then it's just like this blanket. Well, how the hell does that work? You know, I know you can spray stuff, but when you spray stuff, shouldn't it like fall or, you know, dissipate in every direction? Why does it blanket out? I think that has to do with the actual like range of the signal of the towers creating a bubble, if you will, and the chemicals or whatever the spray is sitting on top of the bubble. And without that, whenever you neutralize the DOR, as it's called, seems like that can't happen. So it's pretty amazing. And Mitch has got videos of it. Mitch has got videos of pointing his big chembuster thing at chemtrails as they're coming over, and they just like fall apart in midair and they don't do the normal spreading out thing. It's pretty, yeah, sky fence. That's a good way to put it.
Hmm.
Frequency fence.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't heard of it. Wow. I just yell at them. It doesn't work.
Damn you.
Yeah.
Snake Jones in the house, buddy.
Aw. Hello, Snake. Nice to see you. Great, great little video he posted on my channel today. He's going through his bookcase, and there was my book, and I was pretty happy.
I'm gonna try to get Snake to join this chat. I'm gonna send you a DM, dude.
I'd love to talk to him.
You know, he's never
Totally.
shown his face on my channel all this time. I feel
What?
a little, yeah, I feel a little hurt by that. Yeah, Snake did some work with Mitch and got his busters. Anyway, buddy, I DM'd you on Telegram. If you want to jump in with us at any point now or throughout the stream, would love to see you.
Awesome. Likewise.
That guy's in all the best live chats of videos. He gets around.
So good. Yeah, you've had some good gatherings. I enjoyed your one the other night.
Oh yeah, what's that? Our like improv weave, or was it?
Yeah, it was with Ben Balderson, and Sean was there. That was so nice to see him jump on. I think Jim was there as well.
I sent
or
Sean
just in the chat.
The link too, so we hopefully will see him. I specifically wanted him to pop in because you guys are friends. So
yeah, love that guy a lot.
You don't have to put pants on, buddy.
Yeah, no pants, right? We can all, I don't have pants on.
We don't know who has pants on and who doesn't. This is a waist up type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I do this. I don't have to get dressed from the waist down. It's a perfect job for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Still standing. Hello. Good to see you. Yeah. So, you know what? While we're here, this is, in case people on Beth's channel don't already notice what's going on, this is not like serious business. We are here to bring some levity and fun and enjoyment to everybody's life, since things are so deadly serious most of the time. And we have a lot of stuff that we have to cover and get into, especially you in Kanukistan. And we can talk about serious stuff, no doubt. But I just want everyone to know, if they've got questions, we can answer them. But also, this is all for fun. What's the most fun thing you've done recently, Beth?
Oh boy. This will take me a while. Do you have some music? What's the most fun? Well, I made that juice today. That was a scream. Like, that's how I have fun now. I got cilantro, and I got parsley, and I had lemon and celery and pineapple.
Right when you said lemon, I took a drink of this and realized it's really lemony. Like, because this is hot water with lemon juice and honey. A lot of lemon. Like, right when you said lemon, I was like, ooh, lemon.
Pucker you up. Yeah, it's easy to overdo that sour taste. You got to balance all those tastes. This is what I learned in India, is that the most beautiful food has a balance of all 5 major tastes,
including umami. That's the secret.
Umami, what's that?
It's the secret flavor that people don't really know about. I have to look up the definition.
In Indian food?
In just food. Ooh, I'm sure Indian food has it.
Because you got what's
umami? I don't know how it's spelled.
You got salt, you got sour, you got
it's one
bitter.
of the 5 basics. It's savoriness.
Savoriness? Umami. Okay. In India, that wouldn't be one of the ones. They got salt, sour, bitter, sweet, and astringent.
Lemon is alkaline when inside the body. Yeah.
That's a lie.
I don't know. Is it a lie?
It's a total lie. It's a total lie. It's a psyop.
It's a psyop.
It's a complete psyop. I'm sorry, CP, but it's a lie. You gotta, because it's one of the ways they talk us out of our own senses, right? When you put that lemon on your tongue and somebody says, is that acidic or not? You know it is. It's acidic. And they use an ash test to so-called prove that the this is serious. I hope you don't mind, Chance. But
where anything goes, you know.
So they use an ash test that is a faulty test to measure pH. No wonder it comes up with something that doesn't actually make any sense to our senses. And then the promotion of an alkaline diet, which seems like it's a new, and there's lots of good intellectual ideas about it. But and I just talked about this on my podcast today, because someone always says alkaline diet. And so when I had cancer and I brought that to my naturopath in Vancouver, when I moved there to work with him, he said, do you know how many of my patients die on the alkaline diet? And I'm like, oh, okay. And he pointed out how the pH of the body is infinitely more intricate, more complicated than a simple, test of your saliva and test of your blood to be slightly alkaline. It's like, no, your stomach is made of acid and it needs to be full of acid. We need acid. Protein is acid. Fat is acid. If you alkalize your stomach, your digestion is going to die. And that's your first line of disease defense. Is digestion.
That makes sense. It's a complicated alchemical balance.
Right. A constant shifting. And you can measure one part of your body one time and 5 minutes later, it's not like that. That's the same with blood pressure. It'll go up and down all day long for different reasons. And then people end up on medication for no reason at all, just because it spiked when they were taking their blood pressure and they're scared, right? Everybody's scared when you're getting tested.
Zoka says no notification. You know what? I was complaining about that when you were going to go live today. I was like, I never get notifications for Beth. And I swear that the phone heard me and it was like, bitch, I'm giving you a notification. So I actually got one today.
Oh, good. Oh,
But in
good.
case anyone's curious about hanging out on Wednesdays, we do this every Wednesday at 8. So the notification issue can kind of be resolved if you just know that it's 8 Central. Obviously, if it's not 8:30 right now where you're at, then you know the difference. But you know what? What was fun, to go back to the question of something fun that you've done recently, was you sang the 12 Days of Christmas today on the stream.
And I still have it. Yeah, I didn't do the full rendition. I think I'll be doing a full rendition soon. But this is like secret knowledge right here.
Talk about this with us.
Yeah. It's amazing. So my very good friend who would be 92 years old, but they got her with those damn jabs. I know. Last year I took her out for Christmas. We couldn't go anywhere and be anywhere together. She wasn't allowed to have anyone in her home. She was completely quarantined, but I could break her out. She had a bucket. Like if you wanted to bring her stuff, she had to pull a bucket up from her balcony to get stuff. But I could take her out. And so we went through a drive-through to get a hot chocolate, and we went and parked the car by the river and gave each other little Christmas presents. And then she pulled out this card, this beautiful card. And it was the 12 Days of Christmas. And for me, I always knew this song that was just like whimsical and made no sense. Right? 12 ladies dancing and drummers drumming and all this. It just makes no sense. You count to 12 and you're done. And so it turns out that every single one of these 12 days of Christmas has a symbolic meaning. And the reason that it got embedded in this song was so that they could hide the knowledge that they could no longer openly speak about, or certainly not preach about in the public eye, because the Christians were being persecuted for it. Right. This is where I come from. My ancestors were massacred for being Christians. And, my great grandfather went to jail for preaching the gospel as a school teacher. And thank you, Slick Dissident. I appreciate that you were there. That's awesome. And so it has a very sacred, beautiful meaning. We sat in the car and she walked me through the meaning of each of the individual ones, which I'm happy to do if you want to know the meanings of them.
I got all night. I'm curious because I actually, So I said I caught your stream, but I was sort of like, that was also when I was doing my nude sun siesta. So I kind of fell out of it. I passed out for a minute.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. So
Steak Jones knows about it. We talk about sunning your testes all the time. It's a great way to get testosterone. Which
right, because the sun is masculine. No, pardon me. The sun is actually feminine. So you guys need that stuff.
According to Ben's cosmology, and it does fit with that. I'm interested.
It's a much better fit, now that I see the world through those eyes. And of course, why are women and their cycles totally synced with the moon? Of course, because it's masculine energy, not feminine energy, right?
I think that makes a lot of sense. Me and Ben have had some amazing cosmology chats with combining our perspectives and coming to some big realizations. Love that guy.
No doubt.
Shout out Ben. Maybe you can call in too. I'll send him a Facebook message.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on my show tomorrow, but I have to postpone because things went haywire today. But so with the 12 days of Christmas, on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. And that is the Jesus who died on a tree. That's the symbol, what that is meaning. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves. And unless you want me to sing the whole thing over, and it'll take a really long time, I'll just go for the individual lines. That's the Old and the New Testament, which I think a lot about these days because they are like night and day, which is not surprising. And unlike, I think, most Christians, I do believe that the God of the Old Testament was not God at all, that they replaced, and maybe not in every single case, and I haven't gone through with a fine-tooth comb and read the whole thing recently. I did as a child, but there's so much satanic ritual in the Old Testament, the blood sacrifice, the need for circumcision, all of this stuff that's horrific. That this is something I don't see as godly at all. This is satanic in my eyes.
Oh, I actually have been looking into the possibility that the Old Testament is referring to events that happened in the Middle Ages, not even in BC times. And a lot of other symbolism that refers to some very nasty entity being the the Yahweh character, it's not the Jehovah self-evident, self-existing life force energy, spirit, breath of creation, eternal Tao entity that we're talking about in actual Christianity. It's the real God of the cosmos is not sending his children to be like, you're the chosen one and go kill these other ones for sure. Like, that's not a thing.
I also heard that they might have swapped out the word king for lord. So when they're talking about a tyrannical king who was enacting violence on the people, then all of a sudden it's Lord, and vengeance is mine. Even I know that there's still wisdom in that. The alternative is that you say vengeance is mine, and then you become a perpetrator. And I think that's definitely not any good for us at all.
Yeah, and Lord in Sumerian is Baal, Baal. That's the word for it.
There you go. That's Dark Lord, death cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I've been telling people though, just to kind of like bring some holiday cheer? The great thing about death cults, like the one we're facing right now, is they die.
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta outlive them.
The Ouroboros, right?
They take the Kool-Aid eventually, their own Kool-Aid. They slaughter their own people, and then it's like, who's left? The ones who didn't fall for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that snake is eating its own tail, and it's not long for the world, for sure. And Chance froze a little bit. There you go.
We did two. We didn't get to the third one yet, right?
Right. So on the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 French hens are the hope, faith, and love, the abiding gifts of the Spirit. And on the fourth day, fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 calling birds are the 4 Gospels. At 5 golden rings. And those are, can you guess? I wouldn't have ever guessed this one, actually. I should test you every time to see if you can guess it. That's the 5 books of Moses.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's that Old Testament, New Testament.
Yeah, little
Gospels, 5 books of Moses.
Yeah, little obscure there for even for me, or not even for me. So and then you got the 6 geese a laying, and that's the 6 days of creation. Oh, nice! I like your pom pom. Very good. And the 6 days of creation, that's nice. It's a good reminder for me, because if I think of it as 7 days of creation, like if you had just done a Trivial Pursuit and said how many days of creation are there, I would have said 7.
No, but it's 6. The 7th is the day of rest, yo.
That's it. Yeah. So I need to hear that one over and over again. I'm in the process of memorizing all of this so that it's never lost knowledge for me. And the 7 swans a swimming is the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit. And I can test myself now, and I'll see if I can memorize them.
Is that like basically the opposite of the deadly sins?
Good point. Actually, what are the deadly sins? Pride, and I know pride's in there.
Anger,
jealousy,
gluttony,
anger, gluttony.
That stuff.
Yeah, all that nasty stuff. And so the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit: knowledge, counsel, wisdom, piety, which is interesting, eh? Like religious, pious. That could have been thrown in there, actually. And shitballs. I don't know. Can't remember.
Shitballs.
Here we go. I still have it up from earlier. Fortitude, of course, strength, and fear of the Lord. I always forget to fear the Lord because I'm not afraid of God. It's one thing that doesn't scare me.
Yeah, you would fear the evil king, but not the God. And even the evil king you wouldn't fear, but they would want you to fear them, is why they would like put that out there.
And we habitually fear that, right? So that is something, and that's the point of that message. Fear not, is that we're busy fearing evil when really we should be respecting God. Don't fear evil, because if you fear evil, then it's all the things we already know. It gives it power, and you subjugate yourself to it. Whatever you fear, you subjugate to. So it's
that makes sense.
Yep. Exactly. And then you got the 7 swans. I don't know if you want me to keep saying 7 swans are swimming. We already did that one. Okay. 8 maids a milking is the 8 Beatitudes. Now I forgot to look those up. Do you know them off by heart? What
Not
those
by
are?
heart, but I know they're from the Gospel of Matthew.
Ah, okay. And
So that
something
might
about
help.
beauty, I have to imagine, right? Beatitudes.
They taught me those in Sunday school.
There you go. I never went to
Been a
Sunday
while.
school. I wasn't allowed to go to Sunday school because my dad was kicked out of the church for not being able to pay the dues, or at least that was his story. Then my mom came along and said no, she wouldn't let him pay the dues. So here we go. Oh, I only got 2 Beatitudes out of that search. There we go. Here we go. So one, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the meek, for they shall possess the land. Those 2, I think, are both screwed with, by the way. And like, blessed are the poor in spirit. Isn't it the opposite? You want to be filled with the Holy Spirit? Right? So that doesn't actually make sense to me. Blessed are the meek. I believe meek, I can't remember what it really means, but it's not what we make it out to be, like all, mild and not outspoken.
Meek says,
meek.
kind of funny. It's from the Latin word mucus, and is related to the Hebrew word for melt, actually.
Amazing. And you know what?
But
Mucus is not a bad word.
It says here in the Webster's 1828, my go-to for dictionaries.
Yeah, I got mine over there. Thanks
This
to
comes
you.
from Matthew 5:5, like you said. And the Webster's 1828 is cool because a lot of the examples they give for word definitions are actually, they give you biblical verses for the example, like the example sentence. Anyway, it's mild of temper, soft, gentle, not easily provoked or irritated, yielding, given to forbearance under injuries, or humble in an evangelical sense, submissive to the divine will, not proud, self-sufficient or refractory, not peevish and apt to complain of divine dispensations. I like some of it, and I don't know if I like all of the definition. I think it's okay to be proud of yourself in some sense, but even the word proud probably in this older sense is different than the way we consider it.
Yeah, the way I teach it with pride is that being proud of yourself is not actually pride, that's courage. Right?
Oh yeah, because it says here it's proud is having inordinate self-esteem. So that's a little different than, appropriate self-esteem.
Right, exactly. It's if you feel good about yourself, that's not an affront to God. That's just celebrating the creation that you are of as God's image, right? Like that takes courage to do that. And people don't realize that pride can work both ways. You can have like that inordinate self esteem, but you can also have very low self-esteem. That's also pride. Both of them are a sin, since we're talking about it in this context.
That's a good point. Like if you don't have the appropriate self-esteem and love yourself as part of the creation as you ought to and as you deserve, then you're disrespecting creator by that too. You're like, oh, I hear people say, I don't hear it all the time, but I've heard people say in my life, like, God really fucked up when they made me. And that's that's real blasphemy right there. It's extreme blasphemy.
Right. Good point. Yes, exactly. And we think of that as some kind of, like humbleness, but it's not. It's really an insult to the creation. So
I like to say, actually, this is what I kind of put it out there as that self equals love. So when we talk about self-love, the way to interpret that for me is that it's about the I am. Since if you strip down all identity from a being and all that's left is the sense of I exist, that's the I am. And that's the divine spark. Every being has the exact same feeling of I am. If you disassemble all the story and the external circumstance and the individuality is good, but that self-love, since the I am is pervasive and it's, infinite in everything and in everything, then it's the same as calling it love, because love is what everything's made out of, divine love. So self-love is recognizing that yourself is like your selfhood is a gift of love from source, and it is source, and that's our connection to source. So self equals love is my equation.
Beautiful.
And if
I
you
also,
love that self, then you love it in the self that's in everybody, and that's a good way to be charitable too.
how nice. How nice. I also talk about self-love as a program, and it's the self-love with an opposite, right? So if there's an opposite, self-hate, the self-love is the same program. It's just a higher energy version of it that people like more. And so there is a, and say the New Testament says, love thy creator. And I think that's a little divergence away from it, that the cult of self-love, we get so obsessed with that we have to love ourselves, and really we're running this program of self-hate. So we flip and flop between those two sides of the program and never actually get off the train. Because if you love God, this is a miraculous experience every single time. If you truly love God, and it's not like you do it once and you're done. It's the moment of turning my attention on God and loving that. It's the most nourishing, beautiful experience, right? So the New Testament commandments, two very simple ones: love, and you'll like how it ends. I'm sure you know this, but love your creator, love your neighbor as yourself, right? So you're all included in there. It's a
Yeah, I
love
think that
fest.
verse is referring to the exact dynamic I'm trying to explain. Love them as yourself. And then self-love in the proper, the correct level of self-esteem would be, it would equate to actually getting in alignment with the laws of nature, which are God's laws or natural law. Because the way you practice appropriate self-love would be take care of this gift and vessel that you were given properly with alignment and harmony to how nature works and how this body works. And
Beautiful.
yeah, so that's respecting and loving God too, because God wants your vessel to work well. And that's why he made the force of creation made all these ways that we can synergize and be part of the larger overall creation in harmony. And it's just the backwards, everything being backwards and satanic about the way that we're raised and the things we're taught, getting all inverted, because it's actually easy to be healthy. You just have to take off all these external artificial layers that have been offered to us.
Exactly. What was I just going to say too? That when you are super low energy, say when you're not taking care of your vessel and you're not practiced at it, that's one thing. Like if you have a long-standing habit of loving your creator, that helps a lot, right? Most people who get into trouble with their health, for example, when I was sick with cancer, not a lot of people could necessarily do what I did in that time, but I already had a decade of building that muscle inside me. And so when your vessel is very polluted, I mean, I'm a walking example of right now. I'm detoxing, or whatever you say, fighting the boogeyman. And but your likelihood of remembering to love God when your energy is really low is very low, right? So it's
That makes sense. Yeah.
by taking care of yourself, you vibe higher, and you will remember where the gold actually is.
Yeah, and that has to do too with that the light is consciousness, and the life force energy is light or electricity. And the more your vessel is in integrity and can hold the light or the life force energy, the more consciousness you have. And the more consciousness you have, the more aware you are of the interconnectivity and the synchronicity and harmony in all nature, which inevitably leads you to bear witness to the glory of God, if you will. And so if you don't have the awareness, then yeah, everything seems separate, disjointed. You feel victimized, or you feel weak or powerless and disconnected.
Exactly. And that's okay too, right? Like it's those are the humbling moments, right? When everything's just going great and everything's lining up and you've got the synchronicity, then you often don't stop to give anything a second thought. You're just going in your flow. But it's when you get knocked down, it's when you have to struggle, it's when you have to face a challenge that you find out what you're actually made of. And that, so there's a lot of value in that. That's definitely a trap. If people are thinking that they're going to just end up in live in some state, of bliss or flow or however you want to call it, synchronicity, all of that kind of thing. I like it personally. It's very liberating for me, since we're talking about liberty, that that's not the goal. That's been a great thing. And then to allow for challenge, because I've had so many people in my world that the moment they get challenged is when they think, oh, this is not my beautiful flow state. This is not my beautiful purpose. This is not my beautiful. It's like, no, that challenge is there so that you can rise to it and go through the hardship, right? The hero's journey. It's all about facing the demons and the dragons. And not so you can come out perfect on the other side, so you can turn around and help other people face their demons and dragons.
Yeah, and also that way there's a story, and like life can be interesting.
I love it.
That's part of the gift, I think.
It would be boring otherwise, wouldn't it? Like,
yeah,
totally boring.
That's, I think, why the whole thing happened, is because otherwise we'd just be in this undifferentiated perfection, and then that's, nothing's happening. There's rhythm. You got to have rhythm for music. You got to have the ups and downs and tempo changes and the low lows and the high highs. All that is part of good storytelling. And yeah, the creator is creative with his creation, thus good storyteller.
Yeah, best ever. Exactly. So do you want to hear the last of the Beatitudes, or are we
oh yeah, we're going through all kinds of great lists right now.
Okay, that's it. All right.
So the rest of the 12 Days of Christmas, and actually there's a fun share on the 12 Days of Christmas in the call-in line, so we'll get to all these things eventually.
Okay, perfect. That's great. Yeah, so the Beatitudes: blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. This I agree with, because if you avoid the mourning part, then you don't get the beauty that's on the other side of that. It's right there every time, if you're truly mourning. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst after justice. Here we go. For they shall have their fill. And I think that's awesome, because if you don't go looking for justice, it's not going to knock on your door. That's something you have to do. And blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the clean of heart, for they shall see God. Just basically what we were just talking about. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they that suffer persecution for justice' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And this might have been something that I would have argued with even until recent days, when I've seen the way that things have played out, and tying everything back to my ancestors, what they went through in my own childhood, and now watching the persecution start to actually ramp right up, right? The front page of our Winnipeg Sun not too long ago actually had our Audrey Gordon, I believe I should know offhand, she is the health minister. No, she's not the health minister. One of those. I really should know that. I told you I'd be a bit blurry here.
You've been on fire. I haven't even seen it. You look extremely sharp and clear. Where's the blur?
Thank you. Oh, thank you. And so she's, saying that basically it's all the unvexed are to blame for everything that's going on out there, inciting violence, right? Inciting hatred. And so this is a level of persecution that I didn't think was going to happen. Personally, I was naive, but here we go. And there's Snake Jones. Hello. Hey, how beautiful. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. What's up, guys?
Hey, welcome to the InnerVerse YouTube channel for the first time. Like, we've known each other way too long for this to be the first time you came on.
I haven't been on before, have I?
No.
I'm so busy around here all the time. It's like,
I'm glad that you are.
Get my butt in a seat and sit down.
That's awesome.
Yeah, sit down for a story time with Beth.
I'm listening. It's awesome stuff.
It's good to have your face on the screen, you handsome devil.
Great to see you, Snake. So good. Yeah, I want to talk to you. So let's see. We were just at the 8 mates milking. We got the 8 beatitudes, and we got the 9 ladies dancing. Try to get that in tune. And we got the 9 fruits of the Spirit. So this one I still have yet to look up. That's if you caught my earlier stream. So let's do it here. Galatians. I spell Galatians.
GALATIANS. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Google
I think you're right.
We'll know.
Yeah, so it's 5:22 to 23. That should do it. The fruit of the Spirit of Galatians. And, I believe. Oh, it's a music download. Darn it. Not going to work.
Well, while you're looking for that, I got to say, Snake, I met your son yesterday evening on a session, and he's really cool. You got a good kid there.
You're not kidding anymore. That's a young man.
Yeah,
How
you're
old
right.
is he?
You're right.
How old is he now?
21. He's 21, and we talked on the 21st day of December, 12/21/2021. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. Yep. Born April 6th. These are my little Aries.
Yeah. Like little Aries bro for me. We did a divination session, and it was awesome.
It wasn't my idea either. He asked me. He's like,
Really? I thought that you were like, son, it's time that you go speak to Chance. I thought that's how it went down.
But when he asked, I was like, oh, man, I was going to do the Day of Brightness, I guess. So, yeah, it was great because I think a lot more people are watching you, Chance, than you realize. Doesn't show up on YouTube.
Really? I have no
he's been
idea.
watching you for a while.
Really?
That's what he told me.
Yeah, if your chat's any sign as well, right? Like you have just the best rockin' chat of Telegram as far as I'm concerned.
It's the party room.
Totally. Yeah, really good. All right, Galatians 5:22. It says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law." I love that. That's awesome. That was 8 maids a milking. No, that wasn't. That was the 9 ladies dancing. Yeah, all right. And 10 lords a leaping. We have the 10 commandments. Pretty basic stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
Beth.
Oh, sorry. 10 lords a leaping. 10 commandments. There you go.
Maybe I could have guessed that one.
Yeah, exactly. Darn, I should ask you, especially the easy ones.
Yeah, give me the easy ones.
So this is a good trick one. Try to get this. 11 pipers piping.
Organ?
Organ? Did you say?
Like a pipe organ?
Oh, organ. Oh, no organ. What's 11 in the Bible? I mean, this is a hard one. It is a trick one. You might not get it.
I pass. Can I call a friend?
Yeah, exactly. Think of what's 12.
Disciples, Zodiac.
Disciples. Yeah, so it's the 11 faithful disciples.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I know. Who would get that?
Yeah,
that's right. Judas is not included in the 12 days of Christmas.
And
you're banned from Christmas, Judas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He loses. No, I'm just kidding. And then finally, 12 drummers drumming. Any guesses there? This one I would never get myself.
The planets.
Wait, you said 12? Oh,
no,
okay,
this
so
would definitely not be
disciples,
astrotheology. Just so you know.
I know that's where my head's at. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this would definitely not be
Judas, so it's a different 12. 12
it's another 12.
Israel?
Yeah.
Oh, good guess. Nope.
12 months? The year?
Nope.
No, see, I'm so into the astrotheology right now.
I like the anagogical interpretation where I like that word, anagogical. It's fun.
So
which means where there's several interpretations that can synergize.
You know what I recently heard? The most beautiful thing ever, because I've had people fighting about the Bible and Christianity around me for months now. And the law, I didn't know it was going to happen, but it first of all, the pandemic just solidified my relationship with God that I thought was already very, very strong, like for many years already.
I can agree with that.
Right? Everything fell apart. It was all gone. For those of us that saw what it was all connected to, and I saw the whole thing dissolve. I didn't know how long it was going to take to dissolve, but I knew it was dissolving, and there was nothing left. So when there's nothing left, where do you go? to the one thing that cannot be lost, right? You can let go of everything but God. You let go of everything, and God's still there. And then it was the study of law, which I had no idea, brought me to the Bible. And many people use the Bible
me
for
too.
law in a really secular way. And it's not a spiritual thing. It's the contract, and this is the commerce that we're doing, and here's the way out according to the contract. But it took me much deeper than that. It brought me back to the, whatever the not even true meaning. I won't even pretend to know that. And thankfully, I have someone in my world right now, Jackie Milne. I'll shout out to her because she's so awesome. And her take on Christianity in the Bible, because people go to war, I saw them go to war. Did they get anything out of it? No, they got conflict, and they got blocked, and they got hating each other. And, even if the conversation didn't lead to some full stop in the relationships, it led to no inspiration, no greater sense of empowerment or beauty or connection, which to me it should bring. Right? If there's no other point, then it should bring that. And some will argue that there's no other there's only one way to interpret the Bible, and of course it's not their way, it's my way, right? And so Jackie's take on it is that it's a potluck. This might sound trite, but to me it's beautiful. And when you go to a potluck, you don't necessarily want to eat everybody's food, right? You're right. You're going to pick and choose.
I pass the hummus up every time. I'm like, ugh.
I like hummus, dude.
Well,
Hummus just as shitty hummus.
There you go. If it's homemade hummus, then we all have our own things. And maybe somebody even is going to bring a poison dish. Maybe they don't know food safety and security, or food safety, a better way to say it. And not organic. I know I'm a bit of a snob at potlucks that way too, because I'll bring organic food and then I mostly just want to eat my own thing.
Yeah, I'm a terror at family holiday gatherings. They're just like, here, you want this? You want this? I'm just like, no.
block. Yeah,
I brought my own salad. We're good.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny, in the days when it was not popular to be vegetarian, I was vegetarian. Nobody would bring vegetarian dishes. They would just oh, sorry, you can't eat anything. Oh, well, we'll just pretend that didn't happen.
Cheese on it all, and I can't do the dairy. What passes for dairy?
Lactose, and then
no.
Right. And then now in the days when it's so popular to be vegetarian, everybody brings some vegetarian dish. It's so I didn't count back then either. So that's all right. And so, drum roll, please. The 12 drummers drumming are excellent. The 12 points of the Apostles' Creed.
Oh, say that again. The 12 points of the Apostles' Creed.
Yeah, and this one I pulled up says the 12 points of belief, the Apostles' Creed. Yeah. So number 1, Christians believe in God who created all things. I don't know what the source of this. I'll have to look up the source. Are the Apostles' Creed in the Bible, or is this something created by the Catholic Church or something? I would not be surprised if it was created by the Catholic Church. Exactly. Number 2, Christians believe in Jesus Christ, God's greatest gift to the world. 3, Christians believe that Jesus was born by the Holy Spirit and Mary was his mother. Christians believe Jesus was crucified by Pontius Pilate, that he died and was buried by his friends. Christians believe God raised Jesus from the dead. Christians celebrate that event every year on Easter Sunday. Christians believe, number 6, Christians believe Jesus returned to God and is one with God. Number 7, Christians believe that Jesus will come again. Number 8, Christians believe in the Holy Spirit who gives life to all things. Number 9, Christians believe in the people of God. God calls all people to be saints. Number 10, Christian believes God forgives all things and encourages people to do the same. 11, Christians believe that death is not the end. Number 12, Christians believe that the Holy Spirit gives hope in a life everlasting. Nothing too wrong in there. Nothing jumps out at me.
All good principles.
Right. Pretty basic stuff. And you can twist anything, unfortunately, right? You can take a good thing and twist it into something that becomes useless and justifies bad behavior or evil, outright evil. I'm just going to ask, what is the source of the 12 points of the Apostles' Creed? I'm always curious about that because the Roman Catholic Church came and messed a whole bunch of stuff up.
Well, you look at that. I'm going to pull up this from the call-in line. Our friend Rachel has found this that her mom dug up that was from somewhere in the mid-90s. of exactly what you're talking about. It's
Hey, Rachel, is that
12
Rachel Minos?
yeah.
Nice.
12
That's
Days
awesome.
of Christmas made into artwork that shows
Aw.
exactly what you're talking about.
Aw.
Yeah, so good job, Rachel's mom.
Beautiful. I love it. So it's got
your sweater is admired there, Aaron.
Oh, it's practical, man. This is a cheap surplus. Keeps me warm.
It looks tactical as fuck.
It's
it
not.
came in fashion. It's funny how it actually became fashion. It used to be just tactical.
Tactical fashion.
$20. Got it on sale on Sportsman's Guide about 2 years ago. Because I worked outdoors, man. I'm looking for warm clothes. It's wool.
So listen to this. The Apostles' Creed is not in the Bible. It is likely originating in the 5th century Gaul as a development of the old Roman symbol, the old Latin Creed of the 4th century. So interesting, right? Some kind of
it seemed like a
interloper.
Roman thing. Actually, someone in
Yeah.
the chat said that the Apostles' Creed for Methodists professes allegiance to the Holy Roman Church, which is kind of ironic since I thought that the Protestant Catholic thing was not supposed to jive, but whatever.
Yeah, it'd be such an interesting history to know all the ins and outs. Like everything was a breakaway. My grandmother was
And
like
Rome
in
gave
her.
us all that history. I don't trust a bit of it. That's why I'm like following this thread of Old Testament being maybe a totally different timeline. And like one of the interesting points of evidence for that is that there are old maps where east and west are flipped and north and south are flipped. So as we know, the Satanists, they invert everything. So it wouldn't surprise me if at one point, to confuse our history, they inverted even what we considered to be which direction. And so anyway, the theory postulates too that Jerusalem, Old Testament Jerusalem, is actually Barcelona, Spain. And at some point, I'm going to bring forward more of that evidence and information as I can, but it's there, and it's all based on like the names of rivers and the names of mountains and places and architecture in cities like Barcelona that parallel to the descriptions that we get from Old and New Testament stories. So anyway, very interesting stuff.
Very good.
And I think it's worth probably knowing if our history is built on a like foundation of lies. Maybe it's not practical in the here and now to know exactly what happened in history, but if we can at least have as many points on our side as we can to disassemble the mind control hex from the powers that should not be. I mean, if you don't know where you came from, it's hard to know where you're going. That's for sure.
So does it have to be an inversion, or is it more of a polarization? Because I mean, we are on the hermetic principle of duality. Do you think maybe that's just the way they see things, or are they purposefully inverting things?
I see purposeful inversion going on a lot of the time, just because that seems to be the move for evil, since evil is lived backwards. And if it's the opposite of the creative force or the life force energy, it's the adversary or opposer to that, then it would make sense that it can't create, since it's the opposite of creative. The best it can do is take what creation has and make it as wrong as possible, which would be to put it backwards.
Well, I see it in a lot of things, not at all things. I know that I think about when I was back in 7th grade and I got into science class and I was so excited to do science and all that stuff. And what I got out of it, I couldn't retain any of it. And I can look back on it now. I thought it was because I was dumb. It's because it's not true.
Yeah.
I know.
The ring of truth. So
I know. Right?
So I wonder how many people, how is it people can fall for it? Because the world's full of good people. And there's just a very few bad ones.
Because it's a big game of like follow the leader and you get brownie points and put on a pedestal if you're a good memorizer and regurgitator. So this is the YouTube channel, Tom Carberry, who I've been looking into, who presents this evidence of Old Testament stuff being not what we think it is. And it's very, very, very interesting. It's a good YouTube channel. He's a defense lawyer is what I know about him. So he's definitely got the way with words, and he's not making content anymore right now. But yeah, I recommend other people go down the Tom Carberry rabbit hole with me and Slick Dissident so that we have more minds looking at this and finding connections. Because I think even if the overarching theory has inaccuracies or whatever, there's enough interesting evidence there that there's a there, and it's just like we need to maybe continue checking it out. There's a ring of truth for sure.
So he's a lawyer, and does he speak out against what's happening right now?
Well, all he's got are, I assume this is maybe his way of speaking out, because he's just got about 39 videos that started around 2 years ago. So around the beginning of Cooties. And then he stopped sometime around half a year ago. And I don't know anything about him. He doesn't give personal information on the channel. It's just these research videos and PowerPoints and
straight to the point.
Yeah, straight to the point. I'm going to email him though. His email's on here. Maybe we can talk to him.
Yeah, it's one of my things. You probably heard me say that there's 1.5 lawyers that will speak out against these things. And then, one of them is Dr. Frederick Graves, who I was supposed to host today on my channel, right? That it's the vast majority of them are not coming forward if they know. There was one person whose boyfriend is a lawyer, and she said that he will not risk taking that heat, right? And is it a sign? So
you're in the wrong profession.
Yeah.
If it's too risky to tell the truth, maybe a different job.
Oh, no, I've been saying it like a robot, and I might have to take it back, but we'll see. Maybe not. That that bar association that they're married to is the devil, right? Like that's the embodied devil right there.
Bar is an old name for Saturn.
Is it? Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Credited.
That's why they wear the black robes.
Right.
It's all the same. It's the same cult as the cult of the media and the cult of the medics. Even media and medic have the same roots, and it all goes back to the magi.
Ooh, right. Media, medic, magi. Wow. There you go.
I've got paragraphs on this etymology I could go recite, and we could see the links. But
wow. Yeah, I'm trying to take magic out of my vocabulary, actually, for that reason.
I'm cool with magic as we interpret it in a positive light, but not like I'm not a like ritual magic bend to the universe to my will type of guy, but magic in the sense of like, wow, that was magic that happened, because that's I can feel inspired with the words that way. But it's all in the context.
Exactly.
But maybe we should be really precise with our words and not use words that relate to this ancient death cult.
That's the thing. They took all the words. So
that recent episode I did with David Whitehead, though, we do cover the cult aspect of media and medical mafia pretty deeply.
Excellent. That's on my list.
He just put out the new episode of Cult of the Medics, and
Beth.
I got a cameo in it.
I will be right back.
Okay.
1 sec.
David's righteous. I like that guy, but he got me mad. It was not him, but he talks about some stuff that we should all be mad about.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they're fucking killing people, and actually, I was talking about this in a private weave on the Weaving Spiders Telegram, where we had a voice hangout. You were there for part of it.
Yeah.
And I was giving my best explanation of how the hospitals are actually sacrificial mills to create disincarnate human souls that wander the earth bound to it as slaves to sorcerous entities. I mean, it's deep. It goes deep. There's a reason why. It's not like, oh, we have a broken medical system and we just need to fix the system. It's not broken. It's by design. It's working as intended.
Thank you. It needs to be abandoned completely. We can probably start
abandoned ship.
Yeah, I mean, we can probably get back on track with just hospitals that just mend your broken bones and stuff. But they need to. So I think what started happening and why
we just need subscription model for physicians. Physician's a great word. Doctor, not such a great word.
Yeah. There you go.
Think about this. There used to be in places like China, they had this deal where if you had a family physician, you paid them a monthly stipend or retainer.
Yep.
And if grandma was not doing too well, you just didn't pay them that month. So the incentive was they got paid if everyone's healthy, as opposed to the model we have now where they get paid when you're fucked up. It's like, duh, that's backwards.
Well, I was listening to Cliff Holiday. And,
I know.
I've been listening to him for 10 years.
I was late to the Cliff High party. I started this year. I knew who he was, but dude is so smart.
Well, he was talking about the future of America. It will be. He says America is going to be the holistic medicine capital because we're all going to abandon the system completely, and we're very smart. And when it comes out of necessity, a lot of people are already doing it. that's what I'm doing. I'm doing my stuff. Everything I do is based around my health, and that would be what I'm growing in my plants or the food I'm eating. I'm learning a lot. But he was predicting that our new economy will be on like holistic medicine and stuff like that. Probably small farms growing good organic medications and herbs and doing processing of tinctures and stuff. I think he was talking
and
about
it'll be based on interconnected, legitimate human relationships rather than
like it used to
giant
be.
corporate middlemen.
It's bad, dude. It's bad. When I was on the Epic program, like they designed that program around what I was already doing, and what we were doing is I would have to take an addict to the ER to get just 3 days in the psych ward. I'd sign an affidavit saying they're suicidal, and half the time I'd have to argue with them. Like, we're not a detox, and they're not suicidal. They're just addicts. I'm like, they're putting fentanyl in their arms with a needle, lady.
Just because they're not saying I
They're
want to kill
dying.
myself, they're killing themselves. So
They're killing themselves.
That is suicidal by definition.
So that changed when because guys like me and a few others were doing that so much, we got some grant money. But that grant money just ruined it all. It did. Everybody misused it, or just wasn't responsible enough. But for the time it did last, though, us addicts, when we were put in a mediator position, they told us we were advocates. We were not. We were mediators. And what that means is I could easily communicate from the addict to the doctor. There was no miscommunication. I could read. I knew. They didn't have to say much. And we could fast track the process of assessing what would be the best treatment, what would be the best detox, or what kind of recovery program that they would need. And at that point, we were bringing in, they brought in, by 2016, we had mobile morgues brought into the city because there were so many deaths. I've sat with one dead addict on the floor waiting 4 hours because he was the fifth one that night that died from a bad batch of fentanyl. Okay. And that's after months and months and months of working with one individual, sending him to California. That didn't work out because the homelessness is so bad there now. We had to rethink it all. But you see, no doctor needed. You just take the people who are actually, make use of us, the addicts in recovery. We had a purpose. So the model of the hospitals started failing. Not only that, but look at cancer. People were treating their own cancer with RSO oil as a basic. And there's a lot more other things. People were going to Tijuana to get stem cell, and all that stuff. So they've been losing money hand over fist for a while. CV makes sense. What was it? 50 grand per ventilator. I mean, dude, that's like a hit. It's like they got paid to kill somebody. Now I know it's not the actual nurses and all them in particular, because it's kind of compartmentalized, and then you're being terrorized on TV. Somebody gets
being trained. They've been trained from the jump. The reason they even got the job is because they were so good at following instructions, following protocol, following orders.
Yeah, and
it doesn't make it excuse, but I mean,
right.
What 15,000 hours of just kindergarten to senior year in high school?
When everybody's thinking the same, not everybody's thinking, and that was the great thing that I got to see, was being in a position where I didn't have to follow anybody's rules, and they knew it, so they would allow us to do what we thought was best. We didn't, because we were effective. We were effective in what we did, and we were in the hospitals. We were in all the homes, all that. So if we can get back to that, and we will, you'll see individuals, like recovery coaching or coaching is an amazing thing to be a mentor for somebody at a period of time. You go to a psychologist today, like they're going to give you some kind of pill right off the bat. You're in there 15 minutes, walked out with a script going, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Or like I heard you mention earlier, you go and you get a pH reading or something, or blood pressure, and it's just at that moment, next thing you're on some kind of pill that you don't need. Well, they know that, but they're like, whatever. I've got 100 patients underneath me. My wife's an RN, and she definitely wants out of there. She will be, but the hospital she's in now has been empty the entire time. They're going out of business.
Wow.
We think it's coupled with people being afraid to go to the hospital, and then the fact that there's nobody getting sick.
Right. Yeah, the hospitals are actually overrun here, but guess what? They're overrun every single year in the dead of winter.
Yeah.
Right.
You
I
are
talked about that today.
It's
it's just
almost like people
a
are
normal,
missing some key nutrient because there's less sunshine.
something like that. Exactly. And they're lined up, from what I just heard, they're lined up to get tested. And our school division, maybe you heard me do this, is all repeat, but they didn't mandate this, but they made it opt out only for K to 6 kids to get tested. Opt out only. If you don't actively opt out, those kids are being tested. Right? They have nothing if they don't have tests. There's no numbers, there's no cases. Even though their numbers, guess what? It's mostly the vexed who are getting sick. It's more than 85% of the people in the last stat run. I don't even know why they published that stuff.
Well, I know. I think it's because it's part of the demoralization.
Nice.
You know, like
It certainly is.
Right.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's
doesn't
true.
matter.
To make them hopeless. Exactly.
Hopeless. Yeah. I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Here's the other thing.
is trick,
When it comes to
demoralization.
self-diagnosed illnesses, so I'm just going to use my alcoholism as an example. I made it 10, 15 years, and it didn't matter if you called me an alcoholic or addict. What mattered is if I thought so. So one of the key elements when it comes to recovery is you don't run around saying that person's an alcoholic, that person's an addict. It doesn't mean anything. The individual themselves has to go, I'm an alcoholic, or at least investigate in it. So same thing goes with any kind of illness. People aren't, they're putting it all off on these doctors and whatnot. This stuff is understandable. You can understand a lot of this on your own. If you can't, then there's something wrong. People aren't stupid. I should be able to understand my own body, the mechanics, and the way things work. So if I have to go to a doctor for anything, it should just basically be like, I don't know, if I had a brain tumor, maybe. But then I'm going to call
broken bone.
or a broken bone.
Hey, so I want to talk about why you're the taint specialist.
Yeah.
Is it from
Show it.
sunning? Is it from getting sunshine on your taint?
Well, I get lots of sun there.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless I
So
run around in a kilt.
you wear a kilt?
I wish.
Oh man, that'd be cool. So Slick made this awesome image right here, and this was all in celebration of the return of the RX Only Picture Show. So SB Alger or Sean, Beth, he has a YouTube channel that him and Jim Maiden were running.
For sure. That's how I met him.
Only Picture Show.
I was one of their very last guests.
Oh, cool.
Before they crashed. Yeah. He was about to have both James True and I on at the same time, and then they put an end to it.
Yeah, he got his channel back though.
And he got the channel back. Yeah, excellent. That's amazing.
So I'm gonna link it in the chat, and there's some really deep stuff on their channel. I've been able to go through. I mean, haven't had time since it's only new that it's returned, but yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff with Tracy Twyman, who was a deep researcher into the satanic underbelly of our system. So this meme is basically them defeating the asshole who had commissioned YouTube to take down their channel. And Snake Jones is the taint specialist, but I don't know if it's tan taint specialist. So I assume that this was interpreting that you get a lot of sun where the sun don't shine for most. And that must be why you're so manly.
Am I?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that.
What I think of often, Beth, is that our day at the waterfall.
That was amazing.
I'm brave enough to strip off my clothes and on my own 26 acres of land where nobody's seeing me and, get some sun. But when we went to the waterfall, I felt very self-conscious, and there was Beth being very motivating, encouraging as she is. And I got out there.
Did I just take my clothes off?
Yeah.
There you go. I don't even remember it.
I do.
So
very
funny.
much.
There you go. That's hilarious.
This is fun.
It's just a big fat nothing to me sometimes. I wasn't always that way by any means. I was always thinking that it was going to be, like I'll compromise myself, but it was being less healed from certain situations.
Yeah.
And it's just like we're all naked under here. Every single one of us, no big
That's how
secret.
God made you.
I know. We're just that.
Self-worth is so important. You don't, and it helps to be around good people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're around the right people, and it's like night and day. It's so important, the company that you keep. You become that what you pay attention to.
I like gutter junkies. I like being out in the dark alleyways in downtown St. Louis.
Well, that is just pure heart, Snake. Like,
Those are my people.
oh my gosh, it's so rare. It's so rare. We had
Snake is the heart.
We had a very
Leo.
yeah.
Green.
He's even wearing green. Yeah, there it is.
No, we had a tragic death in our community. Violent suicide, like really bad.
Yeah,
And,
it troubles me, especially now.
oh,
You know, I've done a lot of healing out here, but I became quite bitter and resentful when I realized everything that I really lost with the global terrorist attack we call COVID, and first off was my hope meetings. My Help for Opiate Addict Parents Exist. So much hard work, and it scared them, and they shut down all the meetings. We went to Zooms, and that took months because everybody didn't know how to do that. And we lost that. They closed my church down. I had found Neil Kramer. I was working with him and you, Beth, and I'd found a church, and they closed that down. And then even ultimately up to us leaving the city, which was me and my wife, that was our first home. It was a beautiful little home, lots of memories. But because of all this, we split.
Mhm.
But
really,
now you got a way better setup, I bet.
Well, I mean, here, check this out. So the Christians closed their church, and God bless the Hope Moms and all them, and the groups and AA as well. They all shut down the meetings. They wouldn't let you in. We're getting stimulus checks that were coming to addicts right out of detox, and they were ODing and dying left and right. It was fucking terrible. But where do I end up? Well, I end up with some really good people, which was the Balderson family and all the crew that came around there. They made a place for us. It was a simple invitation. Come check out the farm, help us move. And that changed the course of my life. So it's made it a lot easier to let go of all that resentment and stuff. But I just want people to keep that in mind when they think about what the damage really is. Every person in their own individual life has had this change presented before them. And also, for me, my first thought in my mind was, well, I recognize that they're going to be forcing a lot of change on people. So I thought that I was going to make the changes I could in my life while I could before we won't have that opportunity anymore, which is quickly. Beth, I hear you guys talk about Canada. You're living it, and it just torments me. I wish I could assemble a team and go up there and do some evacuations or something to extradite you guys out of there, because it's horrible.
I know. Private jet. I have a girlfriend that got out just underneath the wire before you needed the passport to get on any plane here, never mind the international ones. And she just faked the PCR and off she went, and she's going to stay forever. But I can't do it. I'm not going to leave my kid on this continent, right? Like, or not on this continent, or even in this country, or away from. I'm not going to be far. I'm in the process now, just about to decide to build a teeny home, literally, 30 foot.
Really?
Yeah, I found some guys to build, just 3 brothers who built their own homes. We went and saw them. They're very solid structures, warm, and
I know people that have gotten out of Canada on planes with religious exemptions.
Oh yeah,
it's doable.
The only problem with applying for any kind of exemption that they have is that I've heard all
you don't
rejections.
Have to apply either. You just carry the document and know your rights.
Right.
And maybe it has to do with the energy you bring to the dynamic.
Well, I kind of feel like if anybody needs to file for an exemption, it's them with me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, and that's right on, Chance, because you don't apply for any of their stuff because that they can just do whatever they want that day. And it does matter, like, who you are, who you are being, the energy you carry, who you run across in that energy.
Yeah, because they're human beings, even if they're kind of, brainwashed and sheeple, but also they would probably rather have a nice interaction than not, most human beings. And also there's this trusting God part, in my opinion, too, where you know that if you're doing the right or doing something that's right and it is your right, then you're not taking that fear to the situation, and then just like any animal, human beings are animals, technically, at least the ones that don't exercise the higher mind, you could say. And they will either react to the loving energy you bring or freak out if you're all nervous and fearful. So just like if they're literally the dogs of the state, then you just act the way you would around dogs, a big dog, and stay calm, stay cool, and see how that gets you through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that.
Can I share a court story?
Do it.
So when I returned home from California, you know, they were looking for me up here in Missouri, but I was in California, and they said as long as I stayed in California, everything was fine. But there was a time where they were kicking in doors looking for me, mostly just because they knew who I was. And St. Louis County Police Department, finally people saw them for who they were. I was dealing with them for a long time. Anyhow, so I come home, and the discipline that we were taught was cleaning up the wreckage of our past. Trust God, clean house. So I had returned home to turn myself into jail, which I did. And I had a really good lawyer. He was a pro bono guy. He heard my story. He was also a former mayor. He's an attorney, but also he fell into the opiate addiction through a prescription and lost faith. But his recovery was based on helping guys like me. So we made the arrangements and all that stuff. And a few months later, I finally got to turn myself in. It was really awesome because I got to sit in jail sober in recovery. And like I said before, I was with my people, like put me in jail. Fine. I'll sit there and I'll hang out and I'll help these guys go through these tough times, sitting in the drunk tank, get my book and released. And then eventually it came the day. What I was looking at was 7 to 14 years for possession of controlled substance and stuff like that. They dropped a lot of the charges, which brought it down, I think, 7 years. So my attorney, he told me, he's like, Aaron, he goes, it's crazy. You don't understand how tragic it is. Like, I've never seen a guy like you come home and turn himself into jail. I generally do this while the individual stays in that state, and they never come home to be back with their family or anything like that. It's so tragic. And he's like, but there's no good news. You're going to probably do 7 years in jail. And I'm like, well, good time, whatever, maybe it'll be 3. And I clean up my wreckage. So I'm in court, and being I had an attorney, what they do is they'll roll in all the guys from jail. They're all in their little orange jumpsuits. They're shackled like animals, and they're brought all up against the wall. So I got my family there. We're not happy that this is going on, but it's what we do, and everyone understood that and get some closure in our lives and move on, with the recovery. So I'm sitting in there, and for me at that time, it was the Serenity Prayer, "Thou will not mine be done," as much as I can think, and all that stuff, because I am freaking out. I'm like, I know I'm being separated from your family. That's an alcoholic or addict, or at least my past life was constant. It sucked, and here it was one more time, and I was hoping it'd be the last time separation from my family. So that's what I was thinking about. So I'm looking around the room, and they have to go through each person as they read the charges and all that stuff. And I had noticed that not a single damn one of them understood what the hell was going on. They were all addicts, all of them. There's probably like 50 people in that courtroom. Not a single one of them understood what they were doing there. They didn't understand what their charges were. They just wanted to go back to their cell, and they were defeated. And I got out of myself for a moment, and I thought, oh my God, how blessed am I to be here? I can't even believe I'm here. And then they call my name up to the judge. I'm like, oh God, here we go. And I had done this so many times. I've been doing this since I was a teenager. And to me, for the first time, it felt so childish. It felt so like, wait, I didn't come up here for you to ask me if I'm guilty of these charges. No, that's not how this is going to go. He went around, he goes, and he looks at my attorney. He's like, do you understand the charges that have been read to you? And I go, yeah. And I raise my hand. I say, and state my name. I'm here to be accountable and responsible for all my actions today. And I put my hand down, and the judge went, what? The bailiff goes, huh? My attorney goes, mm-hmm. It didn't matter about the charge. It didn't matter about any of that stuff. For the first time in my life, I got to stand up in front of a judge and all this stuff and said, hey, this is what I've been trying to do since I was 13. If you guys can't figure that out, I'm not guilty of anything. I'm just here to be accountable and responsible, and I've made the changes. So what they determined was, because they give you a court packet at the recovery house, it showed where I was the whole time, showed what I was doing, and what they determined, which shocked my attorney, blew me away. But the truth was the jails were so jam-packed with heroin addicts and everything, they didn't really have any room for me. And what they said was, Aaron, we think it would be better for you to stay out here, continue doing your recovery work and all that stuff.
Wow.
That's a spiritual experience.
Amazing.
And I was able to take that and teach all my guys. And I'm telling you, these guys would come out of court and they're like, oh my God, I got my hand up and I did what I didn't think I was going to do. And I said I was going to be accountable, responsible for all my actions, babe. So I started seeing some change in the courtrooms there too, because I used to go to court with my guys all the time. And it really did help, but it was more about just getting the person, because they're terrified. An addict lives in fear constantly. And that's their downfall every time. So being in a supportive role for someone, you're not really telling them what to do. You're showing them that I did this, you can do it, now get out there. And the court started noticing that. They did, because they were having a problem. Mobile morgues, all this and that.
Right.
So when it comes to the court issue and all that stuff, that's what I mean. I've been aware of it, the sovereign movement and all that stuff. But honestly, why am I filling out your fucking paperwork? Fill out mine.
Yeah.
Because I've been through the system for so long, and you guys damn well know this is only about money. It's commercial and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be the kind of person who wants to drag me to jail over something stupid, I'm probably going to laugh at you the whole time. And I'm not afraid, because God works in mysterious ways, doesn't he?
He does. That's amazing. You're totally going to have to come on, and if you're up to it, talk about your experience, Nick, because that's just priceless.
It's kind of weird for me. It's like, God, almost going on 10 years ago almost. It feels like laurels, past accomplishments.
Yeah.
But
it's up to you.
A lot of people, I would like to, especially when it comes to so many people right now, they're getting in trouble. The suicide rates are up. I don't even want to go there.
Yeah.
But it's basically, it boils down to just having someone to talk to, someone who knows how to listen, and somebody who, if they do give you some kind of suggestion on what you should do, it's somebody who's actually done it themselves. And if they haven't, they'll help you find someone who has.
Right. And someone who's not afraid of it. Like you said, that's such a huge factor, right? That they'll smell your fear. And there's SB.
I just got real spidery up in here.
Greetings.
Salutations.
We're getting some. You say show your
feedback.
Yeah,
there's a little feedback on somebody.
Something's
It's probably me. I'm out walking in the desert, looking at the stars right now. Bring you all with me. You can't see it because it's a little camera sucks, but it's cool out here, guys. Just trust me.
Definitely believe you. Yeah, so if it's echoey, I can't hear it, so people have to tell me so that we can rectify that, because for some reason, as host, I can't hear when it gets
really?
echoey.
Yeah, it's totally echoing from Gordy's.
Okay, we're gonna mute you, Gordy. You can try to reconnect, or it's just good to see you and say hi, but enjoy your walk, whatever works. And also, hello, SB.
Okay, am I getting through? I am.
Are we all set now? Is it all good now?
Test 1, 2. No, I'm still good.
All right, reconnect, Sean. That ought to do
one
it.
thing.
Okay.
Me.
Okay. You got.
It's a weird quirk to StreamYard that.
I'll bounce. I'll be right back.
Okay, be right back. Good. Yeah, it's a weird quirk of StreamYard that only happens when I'm doing Vibe Rant. Like other shows, it doesn't happen. I guess because I don't take call-ins. That must be why. Still.
The other day when it's still a little strange echo. It's weird. It wasn't there before. But no, it's still there, Snake. Interesting. So yeah, I'll stop talking now.
Weird. You reconnect too, then, Aaron. Producer stuff.
Do I have to reconnect?
I don't think so. I mean, you were fine.
I was good.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah, it's still there. I don't know, because I've got the mic and there, that worked. Whatever
It's
That
gone now.
was. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, I have no idea why that happens.
Yeah, when I interviewed Alphonse the other day, every single time I muted, because I like to mute before I type or, do something, every single time I muted, it would completely garble his audio. And the other time that that's happened is the last time, months and months ago, I had Alphonse on. Right? And there's literally no connection between my mute button and his mic.
Okay, we'll try this again with all four of us.
No, darn, it's still echo. Yeah, darn it. That sucks. Weird one. And you
guys hear me or not?
Yes. Actually, that worked itself out.
Must not be able to hear me.
Yes,
no,
we
I
can.
hear you, Sean.
Yeah, we can hear you. Look at us.
We're gonna get everybody in at once.
Oh, wow.
Hey guys.
Hey, I think
Is it
the
working
sound
now?
is working perfectly now. Yeah,
All right.
Excellent.
much better.
Just took another extra try.
There you go.
Yeah, I wanted Sean to call in because I knew you guys knew each other, and he's done your course, and that would be cool because we can do a organic advertisement in a sense, not advertisement, endorsement. Is a better word.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you kindly.
Coaching
I
is
love that.
an
Sean's awesome.
amazing thing.
What's that, Aaron?
Being in the role of a coach is an amazing thing. Because somebody will mention it to you. You should try this. And you're like, no, not me. What do I know? And you got amazing people like Beth who can encourage you to step up in that role and get the experience of actually transmitting your life experience into wisdom for another individual.
You
It's
said it,
miraculous.
Snake. It's nature's way as far as I'm concerned, right? Like we can't do anything great without someone in our life to tell us. Because you might know you can do something great, but all of a sudden you get into the thick of it and you hit your first obstacle or you hit your 25th obstacle and you're like, no, this isn't meant to be. But somebody in your life can go like, keep going. You're on track, right? When I'm birthing my baby, I'm screaming and I'm like, is this okay? Is everything all right over here?
I don't know about that, but I've seen it. It's like,
Yeah. And they're like, no, keep going. It's perfect. I'm like, oh, perfect. Okay, good. Perfect.
You know what I like? I like divination for the coaching strategy.
you are
because
coach Chance.
yeah, but with divination style coaching, I don't have to have a plan of what to say. Like the universe gives me the answers. I just interpret. It's great.
Well, that's what coaching is. It's intuition. You're following your intuition. You've got enough experience where you're making these decisions. It's a flow state. You're making these calls and these decisions, and the person you're working with probably thinks that you know what you're doing most of the time. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're just like trying to.
Yeah,
it's
my purpose, but also I have no idea what I'm doing. Ace of Wands, the Fool.
There you go.
I actually
It's just with no interloper. That's the only difference, right?
What's that?
It's just with no interloper.
Yeah.
I was thinking this through, right? Because like, why does the Bible say that divination is like of evil, of sin, right? You go into the book, and it's the book of Enoch that says how it was brought down by the fallen angels, that all of those dark arts.
Yeah, all it's ever done in my life is help me or help other people in big ways. But maybe it has to do with the difference is though, maybe divination has multiple meanings. I mean by divination, tapping into source or spirit and getting messages from source. Other form of divination might be like fortune telling, where this card means that your wife will die or something. And look, I just drew the death card. I didn't know what card I was going to draw. That's what I mean. That's divination. Is I said death and this card just fell out of the deck. Like that's just the wink and the nod from source or universe that, yeah, what I'm saying is accurate. I don't tell people their fortune. I tell people the possibilities that are open and available to them if they get in alignment with life.
Boom.
Nice. That's beautiful.
So I'm not giving them any restrictions or fear-based thing. It's all love and encouragement.
Amazing. And I also heard one really great distinctions helped me so much. And it's like the underlying purpose. Are you doing it to glorify what, right? Is it, does the glory come to God, or does the glory come to you or your method, or right? Like that if it's truly to prove God, then you are on the right track.
Yeah, and when stuff like when I say the word dead and then I pull the death card, that's glorifying God in my opinion, because I can't control that. That's
There you
working
go.
through me. Sean, though, what's up, dude? I think
Hey,
we
Sean.
can hear you.
So good to see you.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. So I just switched over to my phone. So if I look or sound different, that's why.
You look handsome.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I always love you have a consistent style, but different every time, Chance. So, you don't ever look not yourself.
Like my look.
Well, all of it, but I'm talking about your personal physical style. You have a consistent physical style, but always completely different. Like it might be the hair up with the headband thing. It might be like more of a fresh shirt with sleeves or a collar. It might be sunglasses. It might be literally, you're the only guy I've seen that might have more hats than me, which is impossible.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I do have a really fun hat ready for the flow state, though, that no one has seen yet.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that, too. See, I completely forgot. We booked with, big news in our lives. We just got a brand new pug puppy. And we already have 2 pugs. We have an old man pug who's 16, and we've got a young pug who's about 3.5, and he's my best buddy in the world. And he's been totally down in the mouth since we got the baby dog. He's just like, what are you guys doing? Like you're screwing up a good thing, bringing this little kid around, And really, it's for him. Like he's not fixed. Like in 18 months, he'll be perfectly happy to have this dog around. Let me tell you. But he's gonna be stoked that she's here.
Can we see? Can you show us the little baby?
The baby? Yeah, I can grab her. Yeah, sure. She can she's gonna make her first live appearance. Yeah, you're being requested. Come on.
Yeah, I really want to see Sean, but
here's Marty. Though. Marty just popped in and said, "Divination, the practice of seeking knowledge of the future or the unknown by supernatural means." Yeah. So what I would do is I wouldn't call it divination, and if that's the definition, at least the way I do it, I'm just there to find synchronistic messages from spirit that like help somebody get a message from themselves to see themselves more clearly and where they're at in life more clearly, and then what their possibilities are. So definitely not trying to really give them knowledge of the future.
Is that you right there? There you are.
Oh, little sweetie.
Look at the face.
Oh, so cute.
It's a strange thing. We had her, this is probably the 4th day, and we really haven't been able to settle on a name until just day before yesterday. But so we started with Nora, and then I asked a friend what sister means in Romanian, and she said Sora. So we've been calling her Sora Nora Puggo. And then she bites and bites because she's teething. So my lady's been calling her Anna the Piranha. So I think Anna might
big.
stick.
So show her again. I made you all big.
There she is.
Dude, don't do that. Do not.
Little baby.
Okay.
Oh,
Caution,
so sweet.
Sean, do
Who's
not
so sweet?
name your dog after a biting animal, like a monster.
No, I know. I've gotten that. So the funny thing is, the reason that I was, I totally forgot this was happening. Come on, Baha, you want to be shown too? I know, Mr. Jealous and life's changing. So this is the man right here, isn't it? This is our main guy right here. Yeah, you feel better now? Yeah, okay. This is my buddy.
Wait, I gotta give him the big screen too. It's only fair.
Okay, hold on, Nicole. You gotta come back.
He's got the limelight.
This is Baha. Yeah, your first appearance
Oh,
on the internet. Okay, here. Yes.
So
You're
cute.
such a pretty boy. Okay, you guys.
Who's so sweet?
We'll have an all pug show someday. Go ahead. Lee's got the treats. She'll give them to you.
So
Lee's got
Chance,
them.
you were
Come
talking
on.
about the divination actually being kind of the same thing, and you and I have talked about this.
Will you
a
help
lot,
these guys out for me?
Is can you guys hear me?
I just fell off.
I'm gonna mute Sean real quick.
We can only sort of hear you, Gordy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. So, but Chance and I have talked about this quite a bit. Is connecting to spirit is also connecting to those healing energies that you can really, really use it. And we've been kind of toying with these ideas of, that we're going to become the new holistic center of the universe, I think is going to be true. Because I changed myself. I lost 90 pounds, got off 22 different medications, and cured myself of all sorts of brain symptoms, nervous symptoms from a brain tumor that I'm done with. I'm completely done with the medical system, which is why I'm walking the desert in the middle of the night.
Hallelujah.
Wow. That's incredible, Gordy. Well done.
Gordy can back up the whole orgone donor story too that I was getting into earlier, because he's witnessing the desert transform in a year.
He's there.
Yeah. Yep. It's happening all over the place.
And how long have you been there, Gordy? How long have you been in Arizona?
So I was born in Tucson, but I moved all around as a kid, but ended up back here in the 80s, moved around a little bit more, and then ended back in Tucson and kind of outskirts of Tucson in like early 90s. And then just so kind of trying to stay on the rural outskirts of the madness.
No, right. But so you've been there your whole life. So you really have a huge, long history of understanding, because I've been to Arizona plenty of times, and it is completely acrid desert, man. It's like all the times I've ever been there, I used to tease people that it's like Los Angeles, going to Phoenix, especially Phoenix Tempe, is like going to Los Angeles without the ocean. If you can only imagine Los Angeles without the ocean, and so to me, it's a huge miracle that it's experiencing this like rebirth in the desert. I mean, it's unheard of,
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody caught Mitch's interview on False Reality Check, which is really good.
Really good interview.
He said something. Yeah. He said desertification, deserts aren't natural. They're not supposed to be deserts. So if wherever there's a desert, something needs to be fixed.
Well, think about it this
so
way.
Here's the thing.
What I would say about that, just to interject, and Snake, also, I noticed you changed your name to Tyrant Scalper. I like that. But so I think it's self-evident that nature is a self-repairing, self-ordering, beautiful, it's evident that that's what nature does. Your body does it. That's what holistic health is about, is just getting things out of the way and adding the constituent elements necessary so it heals itself. Nature, your body is nature, so nature heals itself. And yeah, desert is there's something up with the life force energy there that is not it's blocked from doing its natural repair job, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, if you look at pictures from Tucson from the 20s and 30s, we had steamboats running up and down our rivers. We had so much water in the Tucson area. But after LA took all the water, LA and Phoenix converted all the water to California. We got screwed with the Colorado, and it's never been the same.
New York City did that too. They take all the water from the watersheds. We're back.
Well, what's another meaning of the word dam? What is it? When you're damming nature, are you damning yourself since you're nature?
Yeah. I mean, if something's damned, it's damned. The word holds the similar value either way. I mean,
Man, when we got up on Cokia Mounds, that's exact. Once that was introduced, when Mitch introduced that ether damming into my lexicon, which I'd never had before.
I don't fully know what that is. I would be curious to know.
It's what me and Ellis experienced on Cokia Mounds. You could feel it was like a release.
I saw the video of that.
It was a release. It was intense. And that's what it was. I think it was Ellis, because he's a Gemini and he's mercurial. And maybe my Leo energy.
Can you give a little more description though of the ether damming? I'm curious exactly how you would describe that, because I've seen that video, but probably not everyone has.
Well, again, since it was just introduced to me, working with Mitch and the orgone he gave me in some conversations, I was like, okay, what is this? So I guess we would go. My cosmology right now is on the Odin, Billy Vey, and the Etz, and how we have your ether all the way down to your crystalline. So it's the snake eating its tail. There's a flow there, right? There's a flow. So I'm thinking, what's the flow? What's the ether doing? What's the crystalline doing? You know, you get your dense and you got your etheric, you know, light, airy, whatever. So if you're in, have you ever been to St. Louis? Cahokia Mounds is in East St. Louis. You cross the river, Mississippi. We don't go there. We hate it.
Yeah,
You go into there and you just feel it. You're like, ugh,
bad
what
vibes.
is this? Yeah, bad vibes.
Shout out Mitch. He's actually in the Rockfin chat right now.
Hi, Mitch.
Oh, hey,
What's up, Mitch?
He says
Hey,
the
buddy.
forecast
So-
around the valley is showing rain and snow over the next 10 days. So ether damming all the way. And that's talking about Arizona. So rain and snow still happening.
Dude,
all
we're
year.
still getting
Wonder
moisture.
how far past the record amount of precipitation for a year have you gone at this point? I wonder.
Yeah, Mitch would probably know that.
Who's record though?
Beth, if you haven't heard that story that I've shared a couple times about my owls that I'm really close to, well, this last year they built a 5G tower right near my my owl tree, where this family of owls has allowed me to witness and be close to them for 2 generations of babies. So they're pretty special to me because it's my meditation tree, and they're the ones that got me continuing to meditate out there with them. And then all of a sudden they built that tower and they disappeared. They didn't have babies that year, and they disappeared for about 9 months. So I got Mitch's earth pipes, gifted that tower on a Friday. That next Monday, they were back.
Amazing.
So
Wow.
I mean, that's anecdotal evidence, but it's
All
demonstrable
anecdotal evidence. People should try for themselves and see how that works
Try
out.
it for yourself.
Well,
Exactly.
I want to chime in on the anecdotal thing anyway. You know, anecdotal evidence is the only real evidence we have of anything. And the
It's
idea that we're all
tradition.
supposed to do, well, yeah, I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. If we do an actual proper study that we can all look at and agree that everything is okay with it, then there's a lot of value in that. But the honesty that should be in most studies is absolutely maligned by the money behind it or the intentions of the people behind it. And we decide right now to do an experiment where we all agree on what the outcome is going to be, then it's not really an experiment. We're really practicing some kind of weird will magic at that point. The anecdotal evidence is, if you wake up tomorrow and it feels different, it feels different. If you can't explain it, okay, but the evidence is still there, you know, that something's different, and you should trust it, you know. I used to say, you know, when I first really came to terms with becoming a flat earth guy after 3 years of study, it's like, okay, so what's the main takeaway? The main takeaway for me was that most people are in a mindset to defer to authority other than themselves, and reconsidering cosmology and all the other things that comes with that puts you in a position to decide if you can choose to trust your 5 or more senses more than you trust the authority of other people or entities or whatever it is. And for me, the answer was yes, because like I haven't seen evidence of curvature. I haven't seen evidence of a lot of things that I would need to see that encourage me that this whole flying water ball merry-go-round concept works. You know, but I've seen
void.
yeah, well, I've taken lots of airplane rides, you know, and I have observed a lot of amateur hot air balloon footage that's corrected for the lens curvature of the lens, and shit looks flat as fuck, you know. I mean, it's flat as fuck. You know? So I don't know what people, you know, and I think most people, they just have either an insecurity or a pride about them, and I'm not even saying that that's conscious. I'm not saying people are consciously being prideful, but the idea to undermine the foundation of everything that you have as a reference point touchstone is not easy. It's hard, and if you're not there yet, then you're gonna have a natural defense. You're gonna have boundaries there that your subconscious believes are there to protect you.
Well,
And it's not easy to let that shit go, you know?
how's this for a principle? Because I'm going back to when I got initiated 12 years ago, and thank God for these brilliant men. They didn't say this is God. They said a God of your own understanding. And
Right.
led me to this principle of let God be God and he'll let you be you. And what's going on there is the world is a mysterious, beautiful place on the outside and even more so in the inside. And my relationship with my higher power, I mean, I went looking for Jesus and found Odin on Murder Mountain. You know, it didn't fuck me up, but I'm like, what is going on here?
It even goes back
That's
to
a great line.
Kai
You gotta
Bali, or
put that in a song or something. That's awesome.
It's the same guy.
That's definitely a t-shirt.
Tablets of Thoth, the Thoth speaker character even says this in its teaching, which is basically Hermes, which is basically Odin, which is, you know, it's all the same energy of like the Tao in speaking through this logos that we have as scripture. And yeah, in the Emerald Tablets, the being, I was listening to an audiobook version of this tonight. The being actually says, or Thoth actually says, that the path for each conscious being will be different if it's a true path.
Awesome.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that. And I like to carry that message. Like when I share my experiences and stuff, they're uniquely qualified to me. But that hero's journey, that structure that you presented, Beth, you changed my whole life, because I was losing myself in these movies. I thought I lived, they live. I lived Fight Club. I lived all this stuff. Well, what I lived was the hero's journey because it's incorporated into these stories.
Just one or two stories, and they keep getting retold as if they're brand new.
And I adopted the
Until now.
archetypes in the film, and I took them and they empowered me in these key moments in my life. You know, like my son's upstairs watching Cold Mountain, and it's that character Inman in that book that I latched onto, and he got me home to my family again. You know, I just knew there was right.
Brilliant.
I don't need to know everything. I like to leave a lot to mystery. And I like to say restore the mystery. You know, it's just
Mystery
like
is my story, dude. Mystery, my story.
Mm.
oh yes. You know,
Yeah, I mean that's what it is, dude. The great mystery is your great story.
Love
and
it.
if you're helping somebody and when they're getting kicked on, let's just say you see them, the game is trying to get somebody initiated into their hero's journey. You're just encouraging them to accept the call. Let's say that, and you share your story,
Right.
you did.
Yeah. Or to stay on the call, one or the other. To
Yeah.
accept.
Oh no,
or-
yeah. Not even that they have to accept it, but there is a call.
Yes.
When you
You're
accept
being-
the dogma,
You might
then
be
it's-
being called, right?
I say
So
this
it's
all
up
the
to
time.
you to say yes or no, because I like to say yes, no, yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it, right? Because it's you can't really encourage someone to get on their hero's journey. That's going to have to be their choice, but to that they are aware, and then they're consciously refusing or accepting. That would be
Yeah,
what they can
exactly.
do with it. Yeah,
And sometimes refusing the call is absolutely necessary step.
it's written
know.
right in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And what is dogma backwards? God.
I am God. Yeah, like they take the God within and invert it and give it to you as dogma.
Yeah. Oh, and don't
Mm.
forget, if you say Jesus, pronounce it in the Spanish way and just think a little bit. It's he's us.
He's
He's
us.
us.
There you go.
Someone pulled out the je
Nice.
suis, very close to je suis also.
Yeah.
I am.
That's so good. That's
Oh,
so
that's
good. You
good.
guys are on it.
And then that's actually a Latin name, right? Like that's another thing that it's pretty taken out of, right? But the Latin is not the origin by any stretch of the imagination, right? That's much more of a controller's word.
Is Latin natal?
Natal? I don't know how.
It's Gabriel. He does that to me now. I'm always trying to arrange words and get angry.
Speaking of Gabriel, we
That guy's
have.
got us all doing that.
Oh yeah, there's
We
always
were already
gravy
doing it.
in
He
that.
just made it more okay.
There's good. There's good
Yeah,
stuff in there.
right.
Like
Exactly.
I dare people to put into the anagram generator the word pasteurized. That's a really wild one that I found the other day. There's so much crazy anagrams for that. But speaking of Gabriel, I have a few things to say here. First of all, I love to see him come on your channel, Beth, for an interview. Slick Dissident is his YouTube channel. He is
Right.
really well versed in law, but on the spiritual side, and then just
Mhm.
absolutely knowledgeable about all things occult in a way that empowers you to see the magic and the interconnectivity of the creator's creation and handiwork. He's the man. Secondly,
Nice.
he actually gave us a voicemail a while back, but I've been sitting on it. And Alan's on it. It's gonna go back to this Murphy code that we talked about at the beginning. This Phrygian cap. Now, we showed Alan's forensics of the Phrygian cap that showed Papa Smurf. Also, it was on the Senate symbol, right? That's you could call it the Liberty cap, because in let's see, it was
Beautiful.
in the Mithraism, I believe, the Phrygian cap was actually called Liberia, actually, so it symbolized a freed slave. It was the supreme mark of initiation of Freemasonry. Now, I will say, this is just a Christmassy hat. I'm not an initiate in any order, but the Liberty cap and Christmas has another connection in the sense that a Liberty cap is a type of psilocybin mushroom, which was crucial for the initiation into the mysteries, like the Eleusinian mysteries. And I think that's what
took.
Yeah. That was the first kind you ever took, was the Liberty cap?
Liberty caps are very popular in Southeast Washington, Northeast Oregon. You can get a lot of Cubenzes too, but Liberty caps were prevalent. That was the most popular ones.
Around here, it's a lot of that penis envy, which is just like,
Yeah, I think that's what we have too. Yeah.
Tough
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But okay, so he gave us about 2 minutes of a voicemail. He was in the car. So what's like maybe close to 3. He was in the car. If this is like too harsh to listen to, people can let me know and we'll sit on it. But because there may be some road noise, but I want to hear what he has to say about this Liberty cap, Phrygian cap, Christmas connection to the holy mushroom, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, even like the Vatican white and red robes connects to the Amanita muscaria and psychedelic mushrooms. So I want to play Gabe's voicemail. We're close to wrapping up the show, but we're going to come right back on with a flow state. It's sort of like, think of it like an intermission. We are going to take a pause, refresh ourselves, and then come back and get into the art flow. So here's our voicemail from our illustrious Gabriel, messenger of God, Slick Dissident. I'm going to put this on screen so we can see how far we are into the voicemail. Okay, hit and play.
First of all, hello, Beth. I love your work. I love everything you do. It's great to have you on the show tonight. I'm excited to hear you guys vibe and rant. But I'm on the road, so I can't join in too much tonight. But I do have a story that relates to the psilocybin mushroom. And it is definitely what they were indicating in the original Matrix when they offered a red pill or a blue pill. Those are the 2 types of mushrooms. There's the psilocybin and the animasquita. And I'm actually, now that I think about it, it's the animasquita that's the red one, I believe. But either way, those are the 2 types of mushroom. And the Knights Templar would offer a communion to the neophyte. And as the effects of the tea were setting in, the neophyte would be convinced that they were a chosen one. And from there, they would be implored into a mission, a high-risk endeavor. And as the effects of the mushroom were setting in and the thrall was coming into full effect, there would be crisis actors along the way. And the neophyte would be quite convinced very easily of their superpowers and that the grace of God was with them and that they were the chosen ones. And anybody who's had that tea knows exactly the feeling I'm talking about. And so there was quite a compelling psychodrama that would play out for the neophyte, and they would be essentially hooked and obligated to come back to more for the source. And so anybody who knows what those mushrooms look like, they know that they look a lot like MAGA caps. And anybody who knows about January 6th knows that a whole lot of people got initiated into some high tomfoolery, thinking that they were the chosen ones by the grace of God Anon or whatever. So that's my rant. Much love, y'all. Peace.
Makes me
Sweet.
think too about how God Emperor Trump told everyone all year to get their cowpokes, and even went on some show. I can't remember. I just saw clips of it where he was like, "Yeah, I'm triple retarded. I've got it all, boosters and everything." So, probably a lot of melting down. People melting down over that right now.
Oh, you see it on Twitter all the time because I follow a lot of people.
Is the meltdown happening pretty bad?
Oh yeah, well, this the cognitive dissonance is breaking apart.
Hey, welcome to the call, Jonathan. What's up?
Hello, how
Nice
you
to see
doing?
you. We got a caller.
Johnny!
I finally figured it out, dog.
What's that?
I'm figuring out how to get this thing fired up.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. So it's funny you guys were talking about these topics tonight. I was watching a convention some man was talking about with a soul trap near-death experience, and how ghosts and spirits are people stuck in the worldly realm. And that if you at death think of yourself as a victim, then you're going to continue that cycle. And that authority, the true authority is you and your spirit and the collective, not the authority of some guru or some archetype that's supposed to guide you. I don't know. It was just a concept of thinking that was different than what I was used to. So,
Jonathan, you done a lot of healing, man. I think you're the champion.
I ain't done yet.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Jonathan really inspired me because, I've worked with a lot of guys, but, you work with somebody and you know the challenges that they face that they have to overcome. And when you're like, I don't know how they're going to do that. Jonathan's one of the guys you watch go into nature, and he's the first Vibe Rant guy. You ever seen his vibration videos, Chance?
No, John's new to me.
Yeah. So he turned me on with that.
Artistic release. I'm a Sagittarius, so it's always with fire and weapons and music.
Fire signs.
So he healed with art and nature, and he's been really good about being a voice out there where no one else is. Jonathan's message is don't be an NWO pet. You're expendable. You're just a number to them. Don't buy into that stuff. And it's such a hard message to carry to these young guys these days. And with my own son and daughter and them, Jonathan was saying things that I didn't know how to say to my own children. And because of him, my son's didn't join the military. Good job. Except for this kid.
Aw.
Here's the
Hello.
first thing.
So
Ellis,
nice to see you.
did you get all those chocolates, or did you eat them all?
What one?
The chocolates.
Yeah.
Okay.
I say all of the Coca-Cola.
Coca-Colas, yeah. There's no Pervitin in it. So it's cool.
Pervitin is it's Nazi meth, right?
Yeah, and they put it in those chocolates.
It's the chocolates. They're made in Finland from Varustelika. It's a Finnish surplus store, and they make caffeine in them instead. But they're just World War II German chocolates they got in
That
there.
means
European
if
chocolates.
it wasn't, I wouldn't be allowed to eat it.
No. You know what?
I got a picture of Alice on here. I'll show you all real quick while he was hanging out with Johnny.
When I was on 10, I was on amphetamines. Thank you to the public school system and Dr. Banton.
Wow.
Oh,
doctor.
darn it.
Well, I didn't know it at the time. I'd sit
For
in
sure.
class and I'd be like this. I'd be like, and I'd skip. I wouldn't eat lunch. And I'd just sit there and I'd be like, and for the first time in my life, I became like extremely self-conscious of the way I looked. Whereas before, I was a
Alice.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yes.
Nice.
So sucks.
He hung out with me and wanted to try out my gear for a little bit.
Aw. Love it.
He got to see Heat for the first time, so he likes bank robbers now. I said, good. At least you ain't the police or military. It's a step up.
This is the first turning. I did not do this. This boy's natural. You know, when I was a little boy, I was interested in all those things too. I just think it's funny. You know, we're born into this world, and we do know our purpose.
Yeah.
And the game is not to.
Mama always said that I was going to be a preacher when I grew up.
Ooh.
Preach, brother, preach.
I love it. Yeah.
Preach. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
Flock. This is a flock, isn't it? You are bringing a flock.
Exactly.
guess.
Bye, Alice. I love your videos, by the way. I just wanted to tell you.
Did you hear that?
That's why you're
I
not
like our
an
community because
initiate.
it feels like
Because
there's
you're-
not a central figurehead in our.
Your videos are
not.
awesome, Alice.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I think so too.
Oh, good.
We've all got our own tiny little cults, and we mingle them all together without any judgment, and it's great.
Exactly.
awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
That's
called
it.
the
We all
guild.
have our own
We
little
got a lot of
church.
crossover in our cult followings there, Beth.
I know.
Why is
I
it
know.
we're bringing, why is it we're bringing
Likewise.
people together in so separate ways with this internet, but not interpersonal with people that are close to you?
We're doing it here in Manitoba. You know, it was
Yeah, it takes
actually
time.
when I met you, Snake, and I was driving home from New York,
Yep.
and I was so sad, I'm crying my eyes out, thinking I left my family behind and I'll never see you again. And because you know the world was going to hell, and then I just came to. I shook my head and I slapped my own face. I went, Beth, you're going to go home and create this on your land, where your people are, and
I'm
I
glad you
did.
brought that up. That's that. I always the proximity of fellowship, like YouTube and all that stuff. Guys, I'm the one who went and met Jonathan, or Jonathan met me, or Gabe came and visited. Every chance.
Dude, I always say that Snake is like this nexus point, and all the best live streams that I've ever seen in my life, you were in the chat, like 100%.
Yeah,
It's-
I know it's
exactly.
lit if you're
Consistent.
in there.
I don't know, man. Maybe there's like a YouTube angel out there that just puts that video right in front of me, and I go, I can tell what's authentic and what's not. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. You've been through so much yourself, and you know what's real and what's not real. You got a smart papa there, Alice.
Thanks.
Is he
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, right?
This helmet is
That
that
shouldn't
hurt.
hurt.
It's steel.
I
Like
know.
the liner's not even helping.
Isn't it a shame our history? Like they're like, okay, well, it's history. I'm not going to be able to learn from it or study it or get a good objective perception of any of this if you people keep doing what you're doing, you know. And so, you know, I like what. There's another thing about Jonathan. Jonathan will talk about that. Both sides lost because.
Beth, I wanted to show you my family crest while you're here because I really wanted you to see it.
Awesome.
Can we get in close, Chance? There you go. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice.
Ooh, wow. Wow. What kind of birds are those?
Those are doves or pigeon. It means pigeon in Italian, piccione. Pigeon or dove.
Oh, wow. Neat. And then so
I
dove
didn't know that.
and pigeon are the same word.
And then I think that's the Noah's Ark and finding, or a messenger of peace. I don't know.
Ooh.
Yes, the top of the mountain and the
So
and
Laurel?
yeah,
My
exactly,
family.
because Noah would send the dove out to see if
Mhm.
there was land. Right.
What
Beautiful.
was your nickname in the army?
Love it.
Well, when I was in basic or when I was in my unit?
Yeah, the pine cone, right?
Yeah, that was my nickname was Pinecone.
It was basically third eye. Is what they call
Yeah.
it.
Good one.
I was the guy trying to call them out for being expendable order followers, and you need to get out. You're just a pet, and showing them David Icke stuff in around 2010, 11. So I got a few that got out of the military, luckily. But it's hard when it's alluring and attractive to young kids. There's a fascination to it, and it's dangerous. That's where it all starts. So that's why I press with Ellis about how it's not cool to be expendable. Like, it's cool to collect the gear, and if you want to relive it, be a reenactor, but don't serve in the military. Bring the history back to life, right?
Yeah. We picked up a few books from the thrift store.
And some original stuff from the Navy.
You should show Ellis some World War II metal detecting, and where they dig up bones.
Oh, we watch that a lot.
I watch History Secrets. He digs up items and stuff. And he
Yeah,
found
my dad for the metal detector. He's a professional treasure hunter, y'all.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah.
he sells metal detector gear and equipment, and
Funny, that's what hit my head.
he's really good at it too, at the
that'd
actual
be
treasure
interesting.
finding.
I'm a natural treasure hunter. Maybe me and your dad got to get on the phone. Like I found a half ounce of gold one time.
Nice.
Really, I went back to a place where I saw a big concert in Walla Walla, and I found a half ounce gold coin. I found gemstones on the ground more than once. So
I found a diamond.
Maybe. Yeah, see, okay, me and Beth have both found diamonds. Mine was a cubic zirconium, but it was still, I mean, it's like a 3 carat CZ. I took it to the jeweler and had them look at it. They're like, oh yeah, it's real. I mean, it's not worth, a 3 kilogram high quality diamond would have been nicer. I'd have probably sold it to him, but.
I want to get my dad's
Jonathan, what's your channel, man? Well,
My name. My name. Just type in my name. Say again.
On YouTube?
Yes, sir.
Or on? Cool. I was just gonna subscribe. Sorry to interrupt. Right. I'd never met you.
Drop a link if you could. That will save.
Yeah, I just subscribed. I'm gonna drop a few links in chat. First, I'm gonna link my dad's website, and then I'm gonna link.
I see. This is a picture of the queen all beat up with her hair a mess.
Yeah, that's him. That's not my dad. That's John.
No, I got some studies for a painting and a sculpture I'm going to make into fine art, and it's called Elizabeth II, and it's just a great big watermelon wearing the crown.
I don't even think she's alive anymore, to be honest with you.
Me neither. I don't think so either.
Talking about that a lot on our programs.
Really?
She's out.
Yeah.
Didn't she?
She might be more like this, Chance, than she is like a watermelon, though.
Scaly egg.
Little scaly.
That's really wild that you found those when you did. Hey, but
the sculpture. There's a sculpture in Winnipeg, or there used to be until they, I believe, beheaded her. But the sculpture of the Queen, she actually has, what would you call them? Pincers.
Bird
not
talons.
hands.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Bizarre.
Like, why would they do that? If they were trying to disguise her as human, why would they do that? Right? It's so weird.
They have to tell on themselves.
I guess so.
They're required to tell on themselves.
Yeah, I guess that's it. All right, I'm subbing to you, John.
Yeah.
And look up vibrations. Type in my name and type vibrations, and all my music videos will pop up. That's my art. Cool. Make. You'll probably like all of them. The hardest one for me to do was shotgun vibrations. That one was the most, but the most popular one probably beat vibrations. So,
hey, would y'all subscribe to my son's channel?
Your son has a channel?
The only problem is it changes name all the time, so now I have to figure out what it's called.
He's 13 or 12.
Darn it. He's about to be 15. On New Year's Day. This kid. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do for his birthday. He says he doesn't want to party, and then I thought, well, like, is that hard on him if I throw a surprise party after he says he doesn't want to party? I think so, eh? That's kind of rude.
How about a camera for his YouTube channel?
Yeah, exactly. He has one. I've got him all that stuff. I got him all that stuff. But yeah, darn it. Let me see if I can find his channel.
What's he doing?
How do you find somebody's channel? I guess his name won't do anything, I'm sure.
You guys, we got to wrap up to switch to flow state. So I want everyone to, anything they want to leave with everyone before we go. I mean, I'm not rushing it,
No, well, I got something I can say for sure.
If someone links that in the private chat, I'll put that in the YouTube chat. So we can all
and the way the Hollywood Squares is set up right now, Beth is directly above me, and that's accurate because she's my teacher. And if you're looking to have transformative work happen in your life, then just give your money to Beth and sign up and actually do the work and all the little notebooks that she hands you, and go into that scary place and then let go of all your shit and do it over and over again, and then you'll feel ready to actually face the future and do the things that you want to do in a new empowered way. I'm actually trained by her to be a coach, and I don't have my offering like all squared out, but I'm still available. I'm still doing it. So.
And you're an awesome coach. I absolutely vouch for you. Yeah. No, I not only have seen you do it, but I've seen other people or heard other people talk about the results that you help them get. So it's, I always say, and thank you, by the way, I did not pay Sean to say that. And And
No, it's for real. It's not a paid promotion. It's just don't do it if you're not ready. I'll tell you that. Don't do it if you're not ready.
it really is
Juan
only
has a
for the
sixth
brave.
sense. He does.
Yeah. There's no interlopers. It's just you and that shit, whatever it is. And you can have confidence in yourself. You know, it's good. It's good if you've got tools, but it's really great if you just know that God will come through you in the right moments. And I can't really find my sense panel yet. Oh, well.
Well, you just find it and drop it to us in the flow state, or just drop it to us in any of our telegrams, and we'll just all keep passing it around and telling everybody to subscribe so we can run his numbers up and give him a real birthday present, right?
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Turns out there's a whole bunch of YouTubers with his name, but not him. Darn it. All right. Well, thank you so much for hosting tonight, Chance. It's beautiful. You're one of the all-time best hosts I've ever met. You're very graceful at doing it.
Yeah.
Really? That's nice of everyone to say.
Totally.
While we're talking,
No.
I'm setting up the flow stage stream right now. I'm like multitask, producer mode. Thank you, Beth. You're one of the all-time greatest coaches and human beings and ladies and freedom truth speakers I've ever known. So
thank you.
It takes one to know one.
Appreciate it. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Well, maybe I will just tune in when to flow state. I'll have it in the background. And thank you so much for hosting me tonight. I actually feel fantastic, but I'm probably going to start heading for bed. And I have a full day tomorrow. I was supposed to have a guest on today, and he's like, no, it was tomorrow. I'm like, no, it's actually today. That's why I got out of bed. I would have been still in bed like this. So I did a stream instead, and so we'll have him on tomorrow. And I have to unfortunately reschedule for Ben Balderson, but that'll be next week.
Well, Ben's always up for a chat, so at least that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for tuning in too. Like I said, literally 5 minutes from now, assuming we stop in about a minute, we will go right back on with the flow state on this channel. So if you want to keep hanging out, then you definitely got the invite.
Hey, Chance, can I see something before I bounce?
Oh, please. Yeah, I want everyone to get a chance. And it's good to meet you, man. Call in again. We do this every Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be sure to do that. I just wanted to tell everybody to be grateful and pray for other people.
Hallelujah.
You know,
for real.
Amen.
And the intent has to be genuine. Don't do it to expect something in return. Do it because that's our purpose here.
I've been calling prayer honoring. That's my new word for it.
Yeah.
I hope you
Y'all be grateful.
Thank you. You too. That's
all
great.
Right, I'll see you guys on the flip side.
It changes your life. I know for a fact it changes your life when you do that.
100%.
All right. See you guys on the flip. Snake Jones, good to have you finally make your appearance on the channel officially. And
I'm on this phone.
You guys are all awesome.
Hey, what episode is this?
This is number 19.
19.
I didn't even do that on purpose, dog.
Amazing.
I didn't even do that on purpose, dog.
Straight tripping. All right, I'm pushing the button. See you soon.
See you guys.
Love you guys.
I wanted to, I know that I'm going to drop this stream in just a second, but first I wanted to link. Oh, wait, why do I need to link it? It's right on this channel. You know where you are. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. We'll see you guys on the flow state. Thanks, Beth. Love you.
Thank you. Love you too.